gonna get burned if you come too close, it's true. You're the one who lit me up. Can't take me much higher. Yeah, you're the one who lit me up. Help me, baby, can't you see that I'm on fire? It's true. You're the one who lit me up. Can't take me much higher. Yeah, you're the one who lit me up. Tell me, baby, can't you see that I'm on fire?
It's late, make my mistakes, and somehow I don't feel them, but it's bound to hit me later tonight. I wanna say you're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, better than nobody else. It's hopeless, can't fight it. Your love kills me every time. I'm stupid, addicted to you. I'm stupid, addicted to you. Oh, can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. Oh. The pain is still the same. I tell you I don't feel it, but I've never been a liar. I'm a page that you can read. You're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk. And I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, be better than nobody else. It's hopeless, can't fight it. Your love kills me every time. Stupid, addicted to you. I just can't get enough of you. Baby, can't get enough of you. Know me better than nobody else. It's
gonna hurt you no matter what. I've been trying to find a way, spent a couple dozen days, but this is all I got. Yeah, so just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight, just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Please don't make this any harder, babe. Please don't make it harder than it already has to be. No, no, whoa. Wipe those tears out of your eye. We both need a different life, so don't beg me not to leave. No, just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight, just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Don't need a doctor just cause you lost me. Don't need to open the wine. No medication, antidepressants. All you need is time. No communication, ringing me on FaceTime. Baby, I ain't picking up. And next time you see me, you'll be completely glad that we broke up. Take it from me, you'll feel better, you'll feel better. It's hard to believe. You'll feel better, you'll feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight, just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you'll feel better, better without me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gymnastics Network. It is your host, Kenan Johnson, and we're going to do a quick pregame show on our matchup today, the Cal Golden Bears versus the Air Force Falcons here. So we're just going to jump into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about how each team has been performing. So we're going to start with Cal. For Cal is the 11th ranked team, and has been performing extremely consistently. They had a low of 380.2 against Stanford and a high of 387.3 against Springfield. And they have some really big improvements this year. They have big improvements on the pommel horse with Aiden Lee, Will Levanko, freshman Noah Neufeld. They have really nice vaults this season, all double fulls, which is something that I know that they've been working on. And they have some really clean rings routines that me and Isaac would love to see, especially with the back levers that they do. But Cal is definitely on the up and coming, especially going into this matchup against Air Force. As for Air Force here, Air Force is the 14th ranked team, and it's only competed 3 times this season, which is actually pretty surprising given the frequency of some of the other competitors that they have. They opened the season with a high of 384.1, so about 3 points lower than Cal's high, and they have a low of 374.4, so about 6 points lower than Cal's low. But they have bright spots in their vault and parabol squads that help bring up their weaker events, as floor and vault tend to be some of the struggle events for them, and especially in their last meet. In Air Force last meet, which was All Academies, which is February 13th, which is a whole month ago, they put up a 379.1, which earned them second place at all academies. And in Cal's last meet, they put up a 386.1, so I'd say their second highest score of the season, and that was against Stanford for an in-person duel on March 6th. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup to see. I am predicting a Cal victory, but these teams are so evenly matched, only given give or take a couple points in either direction. I think that this could go any way. So with that being said, maybe we could get some people in the chat saying which teams that they are supporting here, and we're going to bring on our guest for a quick interview here in a second.
It might just be probably just.
Close your eyes, don't think it much. Maybe then you'll feel alright. All these noises, all these voices, they keep me tied to the ground. Breaking freely, but all behind. It's all so harmful to me. Poison.
Testing. You guys are good.
Testing.
Music is low. Talk is good. Camera's ready. All right, we're gonna dump it over now. Hello and welcome to the Gymnastics Network. Today we are joined by two amazing guests. Christian Kalusian, my old JO teammate and my captain for life. We were gymnasts together at Elevate Gymnastics in Sacramento, California. It was an absolute blast. Christian and I grew up together, so it's really cool to have him here today, and I'm really happy to be able to share this experience with him.
Yeah, it's fun to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, baby. We also have Sean Byers here. Hopefully I didn't, or Sean Bryan, excuse me. Butchered that a little bit. But Sean's here as well, looking as spiffy as ever. He is a Cal alumni from, he'll tell you about it in a second. But we're joined by two alumni today. You know, that's kind of the power of the community and the power of the Gymnastics Network. You know, we can bring everybody back in together to create some wonderful experiences. So I guess, Cannon, why don't you take the first question?
Yeah. For our first question, we want to kick it to both of you guys, and we want to ask you who you guys are, what events did you guys do, and can you just talk a little bit about your experience at your respective schools?
You can go first, Sean.
Sean, we don't have audio on you. It's a new one. Let's do this then. Sean, while you get your audio sorted, Christian, why don't you just go ahead?
Yeah, I can go first. All right, so like Isaac said, graduated high school in 2015 and went to the Air Force Academy. Graduated from there in 2019. While I was there on the team, I competed every event at least once. Pommel and Pommel I literally only did once because they needed the scrubs off the bench for a second meet of a dual meet weekend. But then my main events were floor, rings for like my first 2 years, and then vault and high bar were probably my, I guess, floor, vault, and high bar were my three main. I did those consistently all 4 years. I would say high bar is probably my favorite. And apart from that, I mean, no major accomplishments while I was there. I'm not like some hotshot gymnast, but I did pretty good while I was there. Had fun, made some good memories. That's about it though. I mean, I graduated as a missileer, so I monitor our nation's nuclear enterprise, which sounds cool, but it's really not. So if you're out there and that's your dream job, go for it. But if it's not, I would not recommend it. Other than that, yeah, I just I don't really do gymnastics anymore. I watch it, stay up to date with it, see how much harder it's getting. I'm glad I graduated when I did because the sport's crazy now. So
That's a perfect segment into our next question, which is what are you doing to stay engaged in the community?
Yeah, so I follow all the Air Force guys. I try and stay in touch with them. And then my wife was a gymnast, so we're always watching women's collegiate stuff because it's always on actual TV. So I stay in tune with that a lot. But I'm always following the international guys. I like seeing how, Russia's doing and China and Japan. They got all the crazy guys out there. But then it's always fun to see these guys, you grew up competing with in JOs and how they're like on their way to being in the Olympics next year or whatever. So that's how I try to stay engaged, just kind of watch Instagram stuff here and there. Anytime live stuff comes up, always watching that. So
yeah, great.
Doing what I can.
So you mentioned a little bit about something about watching over the. So I wanted to open that up to the floor to add, like for you to talk about a little bit that you're doing now, you being an alumni outside of gymnastics, where gymnastics took you.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say gymnastics took me there, but like going to the academy, you graduate and you have to, serve your 5 years minimum, and going to the academy, it'll put you in some very unique jobs. Obviously pilot is the one everyone thinks of. I was colorblind, so couldn't go that route. Not that I really wanted to, but yeah, you're going to see, like when some of these guys compete tonight, I'll mention their jobs and stuff and kind of what that entails. But yeah, so I sit underground and monitor our missiles for 24 hours at a time. And I mean, it's a cool job to tell people that you do that, but it's also very unique and it's hard for people to understand kind of what you do, but here I am.
Well, we appreciate your service, Christian, and everything that you do with excellence.
Yeah,
and if you guys don't know, Christian is a natural-born leader for sure. He's just one of those guys that's always kind of had it. But hey, let's go to Sean. Sean, is your mic working now, bud? And it's still a little bit paused. This is a new one. I'm thinking maybe for you, Sean, if you could maybe we could get your audio if you log in on your phone. Try to switch it up that way maybe, just so the microphone's working, because your camera looks great, For those that, I guess we could kind of do a intro for Sean a little bit while he's, getting his stuff figured out. But Sean was a gymnast for Cal back, I think, around 2007. He also does Ninja Warrior now. He is a large star in the Ninja Warrior space, and he made that transition from gymnastics into Ninja Warrior and did a really, really, really fantastic job. He's also involved in the ministry, and it's really crazy how much gymnastics has had an influence on his life. Unfortunately, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty with him, but I'm sure that he will get that figured out. A lot of times when guys come on, they have really, really, really nice cameras, and sometimes that can have a effect on their microphone outputs. So I'm sure Sean will get it figured out here in the next couple of minutes. But
definitely, if you guys are enjoying our personal camera quality, we did hit our donation goal, and did get a new camera, so thank you for that. And you guys can see the improvements of the stream right there. You see the our nice crispy quality. But I want to get these final couple questions in for you, Chris. So I want to ask, what's it like to be on team at your school and where the viewers can see you on social media?
So being on team at the Air Force Academy is probably pretty similar to every other, NCAA program, apart from like the military aspect of the school. But I loved it. I mean, the team camaraderie, some of my best friends for life came from the academy. So it's just really nice you get to meet a lot of people from literally all over the country, especially like being there. It's such a central school, being in Colorado, and like, the military attracts all sorts of different people. So you get people from every coast, the north, south, everywhere. And it's just kind of fun to see how other people live, bring in different personalities and, stuff like that. You don't always get to see if you stay in your home state. I'm sure Isaac can attest to that, moving all the way across the country to go to Penn. So
Yeah, it's moving and grooving, man. But you gotta make your space where time allows, and be a free spirit, move with the wind, and make the best of every opportunity that you can.
yeah, exactly.
So social media, where can our viewers find you if they wanted to contact you after the stream?
Oh, you can find me at Christian Kalustian on Instagram.
All right. So, first and last name right there. So.
Yep, pretty easy.
Also, too, we got that straw poll in the chat for all the people that want to partake in kind of that experience. We're trying out something a little bit different. We're actually going to have the event winners up when we review the straw poll at the end of the rotation now. So, we're just trying to add things to the stream, experiment a little bit. We grow it every week and try out different things. So, if you guys have any opinions about ways that we can do the stream better, let us know. Like, we just got this new camera. We've been doing some great stuff with this new camera. It's been really, really cool to kind of, be able to step up our quality. As you know, I brought on a designer. Our designer does all of this. And also now we're bringing on another guy to do some website work. And on top of that, we got other people doing video editing as well now. So all the money that you guys have donated has really gone a long way and allowed us to do some crazy, crazy stuff. But looks like the meet is going to begin. I believe first up, this is Caleb Rickard for Cal on the floor.
Nice 1.5 punch full there. Small hop. They are going to be competing in their competition arena, which is going to be Haas Pavilion. Really nice arena that they have going on. Nice back layout stick. Caleb Rickard is a extremely consistent gymnast. Last week he struggled a little bit on his first 2 events and then came back on his last 3 events, if I'm not mistaken, and absolutely rocked them. So I'm sure he's looking to go out there with a hot start this time and hopefully go capitalize on that and continue his momentum with a hit routine after hit routine after hit routine. Here he goes on his dismount. Nice back double full with a stick. Really clean routine, really nice routine. Definitely a better start than last meet. Really nice from Captain Caleb Rickard there. Now we're going to be throwing it over to Air Force for our first guy up. First guy up is going to be Colin Hickey. And Air Force appears to be competing in their own arena as well, and not in their traditional practice gym. Really nice to see that these the guys were able to get out of their gyms and get into a little bit more of a competition mindset, as NCAA's, to my knowledge, is going to be on in person. All right, here he goes. Looks like he just raised his hands. Over with a pretty big double pike. Large hop forward, but it was controlled. Double twist punch front full. It was nice 2.5 punch half. It's a really clean routine. Not the hardest start, as we talk about quite frequently, I feel like. But gymnastics isn't about the high start, it's about being elegant and staying clean. And especially on the floor exercise, it's more about just staying controlled on his landings. And as of right now, Hickey has been able to do that.
Yeah, something I wanted to throw to Christian. We haven't had a ton to do with casting of Air Force, but as we bring Colin's routine kind of to an end here after that nice connection pass, I want to throw a question to you about what is Air Force's mentality when it comes to rings? Are you guys really shooting for big starts, or are you more of a stuck landing team, or are you guys more about connections? Kind of what's the 4-1-1?
With Josh Lozer coming in as the head coach, what is it, 2 years ago now? I think he really pushes start value, so he likes those high starts. And his kind of motto, I would say, is, if you're doing these big starts, eventually you're going to start hitting them, and you're going to start hitting them clean. So if you don't see, he's not looking to see the results like in the first year. Obviously, as a new head coach coming in, it's kind of hard to lay out what you want, and expect to see it within the first year. You have to kind of go through the growing pains, be able to, recruit the guys you want to recruit and everything. So we might not be seeing it right now, but you can definitely tell by the people he's bringing in consistently every year, the talent levels are just going up and up. So it's really good to see him bring in his own, his own style to men's gymnastics, at least in the college arena. Because you can tell he pushes star value, because that set I just saw Colin do is something I didn't see him doing while I was still there. So it's really good to see these guys stepping up like I know they can. So
it's always more exciting when gymnasts push start value over execution, because for a couple reasons. One is just the bigger gymnastics, the harder gymnastics is always more exciting. And two, anything can go wrong. It's actually like a dice roll on every skill when gymnasts push those harder start values. But here we go. This is David Rochberger. Really nice connection pass right there. Really nice 1.5 punch full there. Nice and clean and controlled landing for David. Layout punch half without getting the stick there, so definitely a stick that he probably counted that he didn't have. Gonna need to make it up somewhere else in the routine. Nice back layout side pass. And Cal doesn't typically push difficulty, like we just heard Chris talking about. Cal definitely has an emphasis over execution, over anything. And you could definitely see it in the routines that they do. A lot of the routines that they do are relatively easier, but are done with extreme precision and execution. So here we're going to see David finish up his routine. Here comes his dismount. He's going to do a back double full today and stick it. So now we've seen 2 back double full dismounts, where normally we've seen 2.5 dismounts from the Cal team. So very interesting stuff. Next, for Air Force, we're going to be looking at Jake Sampere. So, Chris, do you know anything about Jake? Can you give us a 4-1-1?
I do not. I believe he's a freshman this year, so he's one of the newer guys. But I know they have a lot of freshmen this year that are contributing on a weekly basis for the team, which is always good to see, because, like everyone that goes through it, it's sometimes can be hard to get in the lineup as a freshman, especially when the team's loaded with, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, like I know Air Force is right now. So that just goes to show how hard this guy's working and how good he must be. So hats off to him. It's not easy to compete as a freshman, especially at the academy where, you got to focus on all that military stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, of course. He actually didn't compete for his last timeout, Air Force last timeout. So it's going to be interesting to see where he was and why he deserves to be here now. Very nice 2.5 punch layout right there. Nice 1.5 punch full. Very controlled on all of his landings so far. Front handspring, front 1.5 down the side. Pretty common side pass. Very similar to doing the back double full down the side. He's going to do a basic press handstand, and his position was a little bit off, but it looked like he held that position. So saving himself from catastrophe. Nice back double full now as his side pass, and we're going to be looking for his dismount. He should be doing a triple full.
Double full with a stick, boy.
Handspring double full.
That's uncommon.
Yeah, I guessed that he was going to do the triple full because I saw a double full and a 2.5, but I guess he's going to switch it all up on us and do the harder dismount, the front handspring double front and double twist.
Also, to the chat, can you guys hear the sound of the meet? That was something that was our goal for this meet. We want to implement that. So please let me know in the chat if you guys can hear that. That's really, really, really important. Also, too, we have, I don't know, I blanked. But let me know if you can hear the stuff in the chat. Let me know if you can hear the sound in the chat. And if you can't, and it's too quiet or it's too loud, let me know immediately so we can like kind of get that switched around and set. That's kind of our experiment for this stream. You know, we try something new every time. But too, at the same time, the strop hole, man. There's a lot of engagement on the strop hole today, which I'm really loving. So let's keep that going. It looks like we got Yu-Chen Lee in first, and we always hype up Yu-Chen Lee. He is an absolute beast. But I believe we are on Noah Neufeld. And Noah's also very talented. He does that double pike and do a double front sequence. Most guys that do that double pike are going to do that double front. It's just kind of the way that, you know, you play to your strengths. There's that front handspring a front layout into a front full. Really clean stuff from Noah so far. I see his little side pass. A lot of front tumbling from Noah. He's done 4 front tumbling passes now. Remember those 2 double flipping skills, that connection pass, and then that pass into the corner. And a nice little back layout there. That is a B. Really easy B. You see a lot of guys do double full, or some guys just keep it simple with the layout. It's easy stuff. Excuse me, that's an A. I think, right? Am I tripping?
Back layout?
Yeah, back layout.
I believe back layout is a B. Back layout's a B. Back full is also a B.
That's right.
1.5 is a C.
Double full is a C.
Yep.
But good acro work from Noah, and then we're going to see him go up for his next skill here. Nice 2.5 with another stick, man. Cal's putting it down today with these landings.
Really nice stuck dismount right there from Noah Neufeld. Going for another freshman of the week, it seems like.
Noah's also a fan of the show, friend of the show, and a overall really, really, really great guy. If you ever have the chance to reach out to Noah on the interwebs, shoot him a DM. He's a really, really good guy. But next up, we got Garrett Bronton for Air Force, man. This Garrett is kind of what I would consider the freshman superstar this year for Air Force. He's from Cypress Gym, and if you know anything about JO Gymnastics, that is an extremely talented gym. They seem to get a lot of good talent, and then they also have an amazing coach down there that does a really good job of molding those guys. And he really fits kind of into that mold that Christian was talking about earlier with pushing a little bit more on that start value side. You know, Garrett is not the cleanest gymnast in the world right now, but he's still pretty young. But he's got so much start value that he can really develop into, you know, an all-star gymnast for Air Force. Kind of reminds me of like Timothy Wang, just a little bit more messy. But you know, when I knew Tim, he was older. So, but Christian, what did you think?
I mean, it's great to see Garrett. I mean, his brother graduated year before me, so he's kind of following in his brother's footsteps. Looks like so. Maybe he's gonna go pilot route like his brother is, which would be cool to see. It's always good to have like that kind of pipeline. His dad was in the Army, so the military runs in their blood. So we'll see if maybe his other younger brother follows in his footsteps. And I know they have a little sister too, she's big in dance and gymnastics. So the whole family is very good at sports, I would say. Very athletic.
Yeah. Um, it's really interesting. I know that played a big factor in Garrett's recruiting. I know Garrett was one of the top recruits of his class, which was actually recruited in my class, actually. And I remember when he decided to that he just wanted to serve. I remember it made a lot of Big Ten schools and NCAA schools mad because they wanted him. But here goes Garrett. He's gonna finish with a triple full, and he's just gonna put his hand down. So
Yeah, Garrett's got room to develop into a really, 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 really good gymnast. But you gotta remember, he's still young. You know, he's gonna make some mistakes here and there. But overall, I've been extremely impressed with Garrett this year. I remember after their meet, I think like in week 5 was their last meet. He did some crazy stuff on high bar. He's probably one of the best guys in the NCAA, even as a freshman, on high bar. He's got just about everything under the sun. Kovacs, Coleman, Tkachevs, Yamawaki, the 9. So definitely keep an eye out for him on high bar today. But next up for Cal, we got Kyle Abe. Let's put something into perspective right now. Cal has stuck 3 dismounts on floor in a row. You don't see that very often.
So are we gonna see number 4?
Well, if you know anything about this stream, since Cannon said that, there's absolutely no way.
Well, I'm not calling it. I didn't say anything.
Cannon has the worst commentator's curse ever. But let's get into Kyle's routine. Amazing double front there. Like we said, you do that double pike, you're probably going to do a double front. Just playing to your strengths. That's how gymnastics works, right? Nice connection pass there. I see a lot of guys over at Cal. That's kind of the structure. 2 passes into a connection pass, and then they go up into their side pass right there. Nice little double full. Looks like he's going to go into his non-acro. Back pike. That's actually a B, popularized by Brennan Pantazis of Penn State in recent times. Somebody just found it in the code and was like, this is the easiest B ever, So you're getting 5/10 of non-acro in the corner right there, right? You're doing a back pike, which is a B, and then on top of that, you're doing a split wide arm press, which is a C. So you're getting 5/10 that are pretty much not deductible. Right into another beautiful double full. So far, really good routine from Kyle, and let's see if you can get this dismount, keep that stick train up. Oh my gosh.
So there they are. Yeah, green flags going up, baby.
Yeah, I can see the sound bar for the meet over there in the corner of our stream setup, and every time somebody lands, it just shoots all the way up to the highest setting. So that's pretty cool. It looks like Cal's having a lot of fun out there. But next up, we got Sam Meltzer for Air Force. Christian, you want to give us a little bit of breakdown on Sam?
Again, another one of the newer guys, so I don't know him all too well, but this is his 2nd year, and I know he's gotten a lot better from freshman year. That's something you'll see a lot with these Air Force gymnasts. It's kind of a wake-up call for a lot of them who don't know a lot of stuff about the Air Force. So coming into like this new environment where you're kind of being told what to do every day and all this stuff, you got extra training you got to do. It's kind of hard to focus when you're down there in the gym. So after the freshman year, you see a lot of the Air Force gymnasts, and honestly, Air Force athletes, even West Point athletes, Navy athletes, whatever, they really start to blossom because once you kind of figure out how to do the stuff, like the academic side, military side, the athletics start to come a lot easier, and you can kind of put more focus towards, getting better as an athlete while also maintaining the levels necessary up there with the academics and their military. So, yeah, he's definitely improved a lot.
All right. Now this is the 4th guy up in the lineup, which is going to be Sam Meltzer. So quick recap of the scores, just so that just to say them out loud. We have a 13.1 from Colin Hickey, a 13.6 from Jake Sampere, a 12.25 from Garrett Bronton, and currently on deck is Sam Meltzer.
Yeah, today's Verdia stream is actually a little bit slower than normal, but I actually am not complaining because I actually enjoy it when the judging's a little bit slower on days like this because it allows us to connect a little bit more with our guests. But this is going to be the 4th routine for Air Force, and I know Sam can do some really, really, really great stuff. I believe last time that he competed, he starts at a 15.6 and scored a 13.65. So he's got a pretty massive floor set, as you can see from that beautiful double Arabian there. A little bit of a hop back on that. Looked like he didn't get the full rotation to come around. Let's see what else he's got. Ooh,
Nice front 2.5.
that's a big skill. That's a very difficult skill, especially from a just running and punching into it. You did see him step out of bounds there, so that will be a 10th off. See another beautiful connection pass there, 2.5 punch half.
They're pushing the difficulty here on floor.
They are. And
It's a really
Yeah,
hard
you're going to
pass.
see that the whole meet. Like I said, that's Josh's mantra is difficulty. Because if you train it enough, eventually you're going to start hitting it cleanly. So
I kind of like
it'll
that.
pay off. It'll pay off.
I like that dichotomy here because Cal has the exact opposite mantra as that. They're all for low start values with really clean routines. So I'd like this kind of battle between Air Force and Cal in terms of like, hey, one team's got good start value, but the other one's so clean. You know, it's really going to come down to hits, I feel like. So,
Yeah, really. That's a good point.
So really good routine from Sam. He had a little bit of a form issue here and there, and you saw him step out of bounds once. That's just a 10th. Like, you don't really want to be giving up. But he starts so high. He has the highest start value, as far as I know, on Air Force. He starts at a 15.6. So, you know, like we said, that start value is going to kind of carry them and allow them to be a little bit more messy. So, but let's get into it here with Cal. We got our next guy up. This is going to be Yuchen Lee. I believe Yuchen is actually in the lead on the polls right now. Let me auto refresh these. Wow, we got 17 votes on the polls, guys. That's awesome. Yuchen's actually in third right now. We got David in first.
I should go in and put in my straw poll because I am actually picking Yuchen to win floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Yuchen as well. So I'm actually gonna put that in right now.
He
before we
always
start.
sticks his back triple full third skill.
Yeah.
And because I said it, he probably won't do it today, but at least you guys know it's coming.
Yeah, Yuchen is he's really the star of Cal, as you can kind of see from this routine. Everything that he does, very clean. Everything that he does with poise. And you remember, he's still pretty young. Cal's a really young team, so you're only going to see these guys get better and better as time goes on. But nice connection pass there for Yuchen Lee, and then I believe this is the triple full pass, right?
This is the triple full that he always seems to stick.
Oh, doesn't get it today, but I mean, we've seen him do that probably 20 times now. We've done a lot of Cal meets, and it seems like the most consistent thing about these Cal meets is Yuchen Lee, for sure. He's just absolutely talented.
It's very rare that he actually makes a mistake.
Really, though.
He's the most consistent on Cal's team by far.
He's a star. I mean, that's really what he is. He's Cal's star, and he's a very talented gymnast, and, you know, I feel like he deserves that recognition. But let's see if he can get this last pass here. I believe it's 2.5. Oh, my gosh.
Nice stuck landing. So that is 4 for...
Wow.
Oh, sorry, 5 for 5 on stuck landings.
That's actually 4. They didn't give Kyle his stick.
Oh,
But
the judges.
yeah, but I don't see anybody beating that routine. The highest score for Air Force was Jake Sampere, which I believe our straw poll had said, if I can check the results real quick. People were sleeping on him, man. We didn't have that many votes for him. A lot of people said David for Cal was going to take it. But
You sleep.
But I think Yuchen is the way to go. I see him scoring higher than a 13.6 on that routine. Just really clean landings, and then on top of that, he did some really, really, really good work. So, I'm gonna try to get in contact with Sean here and see if we can get him situated.
Well, let's talk about this battle right now between Yuchen Lee and also Oliver Zabel. So Oliver Zabel, at their last meet, put up an 11.85, which doesn't seem like a high score, and it isn't. But what it is, it's a score with a fall. He starts at a 15.3 with this routine, easily has the opportunity to overtake Yuchen here. Opens up with a really big double-double, small hop forward. Double twist, punch, tuck full, and he's going to sit it down, and that's going to take him out of the running for the floor title. Now he's making sure that he gives his team a good score. Nice 2.5 punch front tuck, and he's sadly going to sit that one down as well. So Oliver, now in over 2 routines, has now been struggling on the floor exercise. Nice handstand, making sure that he's just trying to stay on his feet for the rest of this routine and stay clean. Nice front 1.5 down the side. Nice double full. Is going to be
Checking
winding
1, 2.
up for his dismount here. And Oliver's going to finish with a triple full, and he's going to put his hand down just one more time for the end of the routine. So he's going to have 3 falls, and he's going to count. And that is a meltdown score. Air Force is going to need to be digging themselves out of that hole now, going into the next couple of events, as Cal's going to start putting on the pressure. But that is going to do it. That is going to be the end of our first rotation. And it looks like we got Sean back now, just making sure the audio is right. But that was a really good rotation from both teams. So quick score recap. For Cal, we have Caleb Rickard at a 12.6, David Rochberger at a 12.95, Noah Neufeld at a 13.3, Kyle Abe at a 12.95, and Yuchen Lee at a 13.35. And for the Air Force side, we have Colin Hickey at a 13.1, our floor champion, who everybody seemed to sleep on, Jake Sampere at a 13.6.
Yeah.
12.25 for Garrett Bronton, a 12.7 for Sam Metzler. And we are currently waiting on the score of Oliver Zavel, which is probably going to be sub a 10.
But I like this. You know, we're able to kind of see now who our floor champion really was. We had a lot of votes for David. And we also had some votes for Yu Chen. And then on top of that, we had some votes for Garrett. But, you know, the sleeper pick, Jake Sampere, just ended up taking it and doing a great job. Now we're going to throw it over into our event overview here, just to kind of get an idea of where we're at. Looks like we're still waiting for one more score to come in. So as that loads in, we want to say thank you so much for being here. As you know, men's gymnastics is dying, and we are here to try and save that and create something that betters men's gymnastics at all levels. But to do that, we also need funding. Something that we're working on now is a website, and then we're also working on a league. So as you've seen, all of the money that you guys have donated has actually gone right back into the stream here, and we've just made strides and strides and strides on making this place a better and better and better place. So every time you guys donate, that money really does go to supporting and making this as good as it can possibly be. So we do appreciate that. If you do want to donate, we have the link in the description of this video, which is a Streamlabs link. And then also too, we have the Venmo code on here as well. So if you want the Venmo code, you just take a picture of that in Venmo, and it allows you to kind of go through it. But as you can see here, it looks like Cal is in the lead currently with a 65.150, and Air Force at a 62.2. So they were pretty neck and neck. But like we said, with this 5-up-5 count world that we're in now, we can get into a position where, hey, not every single person's going to hit, right? So it creates this level of, if you're not hitting routines, you can really go down. And the reason that I feel like we're at a 3-point gap right now is because we had that fall from Air Force on floor, right? Without that, honestly, they're neck and neck. But all it takes is one more fall from Cal to match out with Air Force, which is probably going to happen. You know, it's human nature. It's going to put it right back in, and it's going to make this meet just neck and neck right again. So,
especially since this is Pommel Horse. Sorry. Since this is Pommel Horse, anybody could fall on Pommel Horse, and anybody can fall multiple times on Pommel Horse. Mm-hmm. So nothing stopping Air Force from coming back into this meet. Only down by 3 points, which in the gymnastics world on Pommel Horse is nothing, and over the course of 5 events is nothing currently. But now we're going to be looking at our first guy from Cal, which is going to be Caleb Rickard.
All right. Looks like we've got that process down pretty good now. I'm kind of happy with that. But let's jump into our first guy, Caleb Rickard. beast on the pommel horse. Really consistent gymnast. You're going to see him up first a lot of the times. Sean, now that we kind of got you here, I'd love to kind of talk a little bit about your opinions on Cal and what you've seen so far, and kind of the change, maybe some of the changes that you've seen since your time competing.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I missed so far a whole rotation. I was really looking forward to floor. Anyway, yeah, not much has really changed since I left back in, or since I graduated back in 2008, except the funding. Like you were saying, there's a lot of struggles, and when teams aren't funded, they don't get the best gymnasts. However, I'm really impressed with a lot of the things that I see with the Cal team. I think we've kept our brand of clean routines, and like you were saying earlier, don't sacrifice start value for cleanliness and consistency.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing that. It's gonna be the battle of the start values. Cal with being one of the lower start values, and Air Force really pushing some of these higher start values. We're gonna see really big routines from Scott McMurray, which is gonna have the highest start value on pommel horse, if I'm not mistaken, at a 15.6. Scott McMurray is my pick for the pommel horse champion of the evening, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Nobody's beating my man Will Levankle for Cal. Just not gonna happen, bro. That kid can put it down on horse.
all we need is a hit routine from Scott, and I think he's gonna take it. But
Well,
here
we'll see. We'll see.
But here we go. We have our first guy, Noah Everett, on the pommel horse, opening up with some clean scissor work. Nice half back travel. There goes a forward travel. We call it a Magyar, and a backward travel, also called a Savato. Nice step up onto dual pommels, and a really nice dismount there. Really
That's a-
good, clean set.
That's a good routine to start off, right? Like we talk about a lot on horse, a big part of it, and I'm sure both of you guys can kind of comment on this, is confidence, right? You got to be as confident as possible when you're swinging on the horse, because all it takes is one bad hand placement, and you can be off the horse when you're not supposed to be. So, I guess kind of throwing it to Sean, because he's been gone, but what?
Yeah, along with that individual confidence, there's also that team confidence. So that's a really great start. If you start well, usually that gets the momentum of the team. Not as much pressure is on. You got the energy going. Sometimes it helps people focus. So I think that was a really good start for Air Force.
I agree. So here we go with Kyle Abe. We saw him on floor. I believe he's a junior right now. One of the upperclassmen. You got to remember, everybody at Cal is pretty young, but really good scissor work from Kyle so far. I believe he's. I don't think he does any flops. I think he keeps it a little bit simple here. See that more, and then that Savannah.
The travels, all the side travels. There goes his Tom Fay. And there goes his handstand dismount, which he is going to go for the D dismount today.
There we go.
And that
Yeah, I
was
saw early on in the season some Cal guys didn't stick their dismount. That was pretty disappointing. So I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, you and I both. Man, yeah, we saw a couple of Army guys too. Not to throw them under the bus, but I think I remember that meet. Just everybody was missing their pommel horse dismounts, and I was like, man, come on! It's like the one event you're not supposed to struggle on. But here we go. Next guy up, Garrett Bronton. We had talked about him on floor. Cypress little stud. Christian, have you seen Garrett's pommel horse at all?
I haven't seen his pommel, but hopefully he can get it back here. I know he struggled a little bit on floor, but it's always nice to come back on your next event and hit a solid set. Keep the momentum going from Noah. To even carry on to Scott at the end. See if Scooter can win the event title for Air Force today, because I know he wants to win it.
So when you guys are kind of like preparing for a meet, something that I always find interesting is like my team, we never thought about like who was going to win the event, right? Like we were just like, we're just going to go out there and do good gymnastics. I'm going to throw this to both of you, but you ever been in a position where you hear teammates kind of talking about like, oh, I want to go out and win the event this weekend? Or is it more like, let's just go get it done for the meet?
I mean, for me, no, we never really had any guys on the team that were like I mean, that seems kind of self-centered in my opinion. I feel like all my teammates were always like, yeah, let's go out there and win this for the team kind of thing. No one was always like, oh, I'm going to go win this for me. But I mean, I had a couple teammates that were actually capable of winning stuff, like Timmy obviously was very good. And then Lucas Teixeira, he put up a fight there to win high bar NCAAs. He came in third, but I would say that's pretty good. He could have, he put his name in there for first place, I would say.
I want to get back to that routine because that was an absolutely ridiculous routine. Triple rush in the middle,
Yeah,
which we
that was
haven't seen anyone in the NCAA.
Yeah, I haven't seen. What's that worth?
That's an F.
Yeah, that's an F. He went from that triple Russian and then Russianed out and then did a woo. And then I believe after the woo, he did a back Roth into a triple Russian and then did a D dismount. That's a really big routine. That's a strong guy routine too, right? Staying kind of in that Russian position the entire time. So he's basically doing a walking planche around the whole horse. That's a difficult routine, and he did it fairly cleanly. So props up to Garrett, man. That kid is really talented. But here we go. Next guy up for Cal. This is going to be Aiden Lee. Aiden's a beast, man. You're going to see him on a ton of events today. The thing about Cal is they have a lot of all-arounders, and they really, really, really like to stick with their all-arounders, and then they dump in some really good event specialists, like we're going to see with Will Levanko. He does P-bars, but he also does pommel horse, kind of his thing. But here we go with Aiden Lee.
All right, just starting off with some nice scissor work. Here comes his one pommel work. Nice E flop in the Stockley form.
Nice and clean.
There goes a nice D flop in the Russian form.
Ooh.
Oh, man, really fighting to stay on the horse there.
Yeah, woo with major leg separation into a triple Russian where he recovered extremely nicely. Really nice Magyar with some legs for him. Yeah, he's fighting really hard. Most important thing is that he stays on the event, regardless of what happens.
Look at him cleaning up on that dismount, though, right? Oh, they got the green flags out there?
Yeah, I love stealing that stuff.
Stealing our swag here, Kenneth. Throw me a green flag. For those that don't know, a couple of weeks ago, we had noticed this trend that existed in gymnastics where, like, if one guy sticks, the next guy sticks, and it was almost like this ricochet thing that it was happening on every high bar meet that we had casted. It was like the first guy would go, he would stick. Next guy for the next guy go, he would stick. Next team stick. Next one stick. Stick. Like all the way down. And it happened like 3 meets in a row. So we were like, we need green flags. So we got some green flags off Amazon. So now when people stick, we like to shoot our flags.
Nice story.
Thanks.
Nice story.
But yeah. Oh, also too, Sean, we didn't get to really talk about this in the beginning, but could you just kind of do a after this routine? Can you just give us kind of a quick breakdown of like what you're into nowadays, what you do, kind of your kind of like an intro for yourself? But let's do this routine first. We got Jacob. I don't know how to. Christian, how do you say his last name?
Who's up?
Bichetti?
Oh, Bichetti.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you can see, man, Air Force has been putting up some pretty high difficulty on the pommel horse, and that's a high risk, high reward situation. But they got to stay a little bit cleaner. There's been a lot of big form breaks for Air Force. Like this routine, it's a really big start, but we got to see him clean it up, and let's see if he can do that on this triple Russian dismount here. Yeah, put it down on that dismount.
Yeah.
Put it down on that dismount.
You know, I've noticed that a lot of guys that try to put start values on pommel horse, and I'm guilty of it as well, trying to put a woo in. A woo is not the skill to put in for start value because it seems everything goes wrong before and after the woo. And, you're just lucky to stay on that thing.
Yeah. So, Sean, why don't you take the floor for a minute?
Oh, all right. Well, what do you want to know about what I do now, or what it was like back then, and what I did for Cal?
I guess it's like a quick intro to who you are, what events you did in college, what you're doing now, and where people can find you on social media.
So I grew up in New Jersey, and then went to Temple for the first 2 years of my college career, and I redshirted my freshman year, but then I transferred to Cal, and I spent the last 3 years competing there. When I was at Temple, I was all around, but when I went to Cal, since the team was a little bit more at the elite level, I had specialized, so I did rings and parallel bars, but every once in a while I do pommels and vault too. So I was one of those guys who had to put in the woo. I put in that woo, and it paid off most of the time, but sometimes it just wasn't worth it, you know?
That's the thing about ring guys, right? Ring and pommel horse guys. When you go to the horse, you're like, how can I stay in a plunge position as long as possible? Because you want to, with gymnastics, you always want to play to your strengths, right?
It's the woo, but it's really not the woo. That is not, you don't want to be in a planche in a woo. I'm sorry, Steve Nedorosik, if you're listening.
Oh,
A planche, he told me all the time, a planche is the way to go. It's not the way to go.
Well, look at Steven.
And look at me.
Yeah. That's why we're behind the desk, and Steven's still competing.
Yeah, sure.
But let's jump in, man. Next routine for Cal here. This is going to be Noah Neufeld. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Nice little scissor work there to start. Going to see him pull up. Nice little bit more circling work here. Another more behind the back type of thing. Circling up. We're going to see that pommel horse 1-2 here, the Magyar Savato. You see a lot of guys do that. And there's that Cal kind of mantra sticking true, right? Not the biggest start value, but he's keeping it so clean. I mean, beautiful tongue fei there. No deduction. Puts up a nice dismount as well. Really good set for Noah Neufeld there. Not the biggest start in the world, but, I mean, he hit it so clean, it hardly even matters.
So, Sean, are you keeping up with the current Cal team right now?
I've been trying. Watched a couple of competitions. I haven't been able to stop by the gym. COVID doesn't really allow that. Back when, for the first 4 or 5 years after I graduated, I would stop by the gym very regularly because I still live out in California, and maybe 30 minutes from Cal where they practice. But no, recently I haven't been, but I'm liking what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to watch this sensation because he is a freshman and he's been putting it down on all events. You just saw him on the pommel horse really go out there and kill it. So if you haven't been watching the meets or just keeping up with it, Noah is definitely one to look out for the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's the thing too about them right now is they're a really young team. But here we go. This is Frankie Valentin for Air Force. Christian, why don't you do a play-by-play for us for his routine?
Flop.
Oh, I don't know about pommels, but yeah, just some more single pommel flop work. Nice rushing on the one pommel there. Going into
It's a back woo.
Yeah, I guess a back woo. I didn't know if they
Utilizing those pommels.
backyard there. Savato, very typical of almost every pommel or set you'll watch nowadays. I'd say those are the two easiest D skills you could do on pommels.
Stockley up more. And
then a nice press dismount. Now, see, stopped a little bit on the press, but still got it up. So
he's
hopefully
really
he'll
fighting.
get dismount credit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a nice set, though. Good difficulty for Frank. He's been solid all 4 years he's been there. So it's good to see him hit a nice set right there.
Yeah, going into this is his senior year, correct? He didn't redshirt, right?
And I don't know what job he's going to be a civil engineer in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
For anyone out there that wants to know.
Yeah, we'd like to kind of get an idea of what's going on over at Air Force. You know, Air Force. We've always said the academy schools are a little underrepresented. So with this platform, we've really been able to show other people that hey, the academies are a really good option. A lot of these guys come out with amazing jobs, like Frankie Valentin coming out with a civil engineering job. Like those are difficult to get, and we haven't heard anybody that went to Air Force or Army or Navy that we've had on the show. Every single person really loves their academy. But here we go, Will Levankel. This is who most fans believe is going to take home the title today. And as you're seeing, there's a reason why. This routine is massive.
I'm surprised nobody voted for my man Scott McMurray.
Oh, I'm not. This routine is insane. You look at this routine. You saw that amazing start, amazing flop work. Look how good his flops are as well. And then watch his travel work. A little bit of skew in there, but that's pretty much the only deduction we've seen the entire routine. And watch him step up on for this D dismount.
As soon as I dealt
Yeah,
with
you're not beating that. Will is so good at horse. It is actually crazy. I believe that he's going to All-American this year, and if the pieces fall in right, maybe he cleans up just a tad bit more, maybe adds one more D. I think he has a shot at going for maybe an NCAA finals as well.
He definitely does, but does he have what it takes to take down Nick Mock?
Does he have what?
Real pommel horse.
You want to know? You want to know the reason? Honestly, you know who Nick's worst competition is? Honestly,
himself.
It's himself. You know, Nick is an extremely talented pommel horse guy over at Penn State. I think he's currently in the top 2 in the rankings. But
11.
Is he 11 right now?
Yeah, he falls too much.
That's what I'm saying, right? He has the potential to score a 14-8 like he's done, but at the same time, too, he's his own worst enemy, right?
Yeah, he's had hit routines at 15s, and he's had missed routines at 11s, and that will put you in 11th place
exactly.
in the rankings.
And that's what I love about Will. I mean, I don't think we've seen Will miss a routine the whole season, and he's putting up great scores. So here we go. Scott McMurray for the last guy up for Air Force.
So this is my pick to win, so me and the other 2 people that voted.
One of them was me too. I love Scott.
All
He's
right.
one of my favorite teammates.
So us and our one other person.
Hey, that's really nice spindle work though to start off. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's kind of like you were saying, like for your teammate, his own worst enemy. He would get in his head sometimes, you know, and kind of doubt his abilities on horse. And obviously, you can see he's got the skill to hit really well. He just needs to, you know, put it together when it matters.
And it looks like he's doing that. You know, he had a small form break there, but it looks like he's really fighting to stay on the horse here. And can he put up at the dismount?
Nice.
Really gets it up
great
there.
Set for Scott.
Nice stuff from Scott.
Probably won't score as high as your buddy over at Cal, but still a really nice set.
Yeah, Will put up a 13.85, and we're gonna wait on Scott's. Score, but
He could have got there.
He could. But I think the dismount's what did him in. He bent his arms a little bit on that dismount, didn't get all the way up, and remember he had that small form break as well, kind of putting him into that position where he might not be exactly where he wants to be, but still really good set from him. So as we're waiting for the last score to come in, looks like Will Levankle is going to be the champion for the event. Good start value overall from Air Force on that event, and they stayed fairly consistent as well. Went pretty even, about 2-point difference between Cal and Air Force on that event. Looks like Scott put up a 12.45, and Will running home with it with a 13.85, which is a really, really, really good score. Anytime you see anybody getting close to a 14 on pommel horse, that's usually an indicator that they're a beast. So really good stuff from him. And, you know, shout out to the chat for actually, you know, being on par. We appreciate that engagement. But we're going to kick it over to our event overview now. Looks like Cal put up a 64.65, which is a pretty good score for Cal on pommel horse, especially in 5 up 5 count. And then for Air Force, they put up a 62.15. So really solid stuff also from Air Force. But during this time, you know, we have the donation stuff. And like we were saying, that funding really helps us build a bigger and stronger community that's allowing us to make these shows better and better. And also, like we said, we're also building a league. So we're going to start recruiting guys to our league and looking for all kinds of special stuff. And all of that is in sync with Verdius. So it's going to be some really cool stuff. But at the same time, as we're prepping up for rings, looks like we already got our first guy up for rings. That was a really fast change of events. We're going to get our poll up in the chat here in a moment. You guys can get in there. But let's jump in for the first guy on rings. This is Aiden Gusty.
So Aiden just opened up with a back prize shadow plunge, and those are his 2 Yamawakis. Basic pike yam, tuck Yamawaki. Part of the rings 1-2 combo. Back prize straddle plunge. Straddle L here. Cal is just really clean on all their holds and everything on rings. So we should be expecting 5 for 5 on all hit routines, but also done really well with maybe three to 4 stuck landings.
And there's one to get it started. Right. So really good stuff coming out from Cal on their first event here, on their first guy for rings. Next up for Air Force, we got Oliver Dabell. Christian, what's up with Oliver?
He's another new freshman. I think he came from Cyprus with Garrett, probably played into both of them going to the academy. So it's always fun to have a teammate there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's really good. Might just be, freshman woes. It's always hard to come in there your first year and really do what you want to do. But I've seen him hit some good sets throughout the year. So I know he's got what it takes, and he's really talented. So
yeah, and
as he progresses through the academy, he's really gonna start blossoming into a really good gymnast. I know Josh is happy to have him on the team for sure.
Nice back upright shadow planche there, swinging directly into his back giant. There we go. Nice front giants right to there.
Nice yams.
Better than yours, Isaac. I can say that.
Really nice pike yam, tuck yam.
Yeah, something you can usually tell about non-ring specialists. Man, that was a really good set. Really, really good stuff from Oliver. But something you can usually tell about non-ring specialists is like their yams are always so much better than people that are ring specialists or even people that are like halfway decent at rings. They, usually the guys that are just doing rings, they're just not that flexible, and they usually learn Yamawakis later in their life. But with talented all-arounders, people that are putting it down on every event like Oliver, they just seem to really be able to hit those positions on yams a lot easier. But here we go, Jelani Sweet. Jelani's back, huh? This is gonna be cool. We didn't see Jelani last week. He was out. So I guess it's the return of the Sweet.
Yeah, sweet treats. Actually, Jelani wants to open his own bakery when he gets out of college called Sweet Treats.
That's a pretty cool idea. But something you're going to see from a lot of guys on Cal is kind of this cross into back lever sequence. And as you can see from Jelani there, he does a beautiful tuck and pike Yamawaki sequence.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this routine. There's a lot of kind of like small A counters here. Whereas usually Jelani does a cross and a back lever, but I believe this is Jelani's return, so he was out for a week, so maybe they're taking a little bit lighter on him today, not letting him do the crosses to kind of, keep his shoulders and keep his chest in a little bit better of a position. But you can see, man,
Dismount.
yeah, Cal does really good handstand work. That's something I really like about Cal. And looks like he got stuck on the ring a little bit there with his left hand. Twisted that half in, half out a little bit early, but still pretty good stuff coming up from Jelani Sweet. He's going to score just fine. But next up, Air Force, Dylan West. Dylan West. Christian, Dylan West?
Oh, another new guy. Don't know a lot about him either, but I believe he's another freshman.
I want to ask the chat, do you guys want to hear more about academics? Because I've heard some feedback from some people saying that they actually do like hearing about the school itself and what it's like to take classes there. So in the chat, if you guys are listening, let me know if you guys do want to hear some about the academics or even some of the jobs that some of these guys out of the Air Force are getting. Because it seems Chris is pretty knowledgeable about that. And I think it'd be a pretty interesting talking point. But here we go. This is Dylan West for the Falcons.
Dylan West for the Falcons. Man. Yeah, I haven't really been able to pick up a pattern too much on Air Force's rings yet. This is our first time casted them in a long time, but really nice cast Yamawaki, cast Maltese there. Really, really, really clean stuff. Back upright straight plunge, that's a pretty difficult skill. He just did a D to a D and then separates his legs to get that B static plunge. So really, really good set so far. I like that opening.
I will say I'm surprised, though, to not see Ethan Esfall in the lineup today. He might, I don't know if he got hurt or maybe he's sick with the corona, but yeah, he's one of their best ring guys. So hate to not see him on the lineup.
Yeah,
'cause
we
he's
actually
really clean and really strong.
We didn't get to see him compete at the last competition either. So
Nice stuff landing.
There you go.
But yeah, man, Air Force is doing some really good landings. But to throw it over into Sean, you know, Sean, like, there's a lot of people. I just got a DM from our designer, Chris Kirby, really great guy. But I believe his daughter does Ninja Warrior, and they said they were watching the stream and they immediately recognized you, and they wanted to say hi. So shout out to them, and you know, shout out to yourself. But something I'd like for you, Sean, would be since you know you don't really know these guys, but something that I think would be kind of cool would be maybe you could do a play-by-play for us on Will of Ankle's routine here.
Sure. Right, starting with that false grip. How detailed do you need?
As detailed as you want it.
All right, let's see it. Let's do some basic commentary here. All right, it's a little bit of awkward front uprise kip sort of thing. I don't know. Rolling through. A little struggling on the pike yam. Tuck yam looked pretty decent. Solid strength, but the angle's a little awkward on that planche. We'll see if the judges care about that or not. Nice press.
Nice
A little bit of a bobble, but it'll work. We'll take it. And locate. Ooh, front full dismount with the stick. There we go.
Yeah, man.
So there goes their second stick for the cow side. And I said we should be expecting a minimum of 3 sticks in this rings lineup, as clean as they like to be. So
yeah,
we're going to be looking for one from Yu Chen and Noah Neufeld. Our next guys up on the cow side.
So, Sean, you know, kind of while we're waiting for this next guy to get up, how do you feel like gymnastics really prepared you to go into the Ninja Warrior world?
Oh, it was probably the best thing for my preparation. There's all sorts of different movements that are similar, especially learning a tap on high bar. You utilize that for all sorts of swings on various different obstacles. But then also rings helped me a lot of quick twitch muscle development because of it. So I'm now able to do a lot of quick pulls, like do things on the salmon ladder and transitions from one obstacle to another. It just really gave me that ability.
So I want to get into it, but real quick, this is Garrett Bronton on the rings. He opened with a kip to top planche.
Yeah, nice little straight planche from our man Garrett there, and then a nice whip it in the cross. Came in a little bit high. I'm not sure if they're going to give him the whip it cross credit on that. They're going to give him the whip it and then lower into a cross. But you can see from Garrett there, beautiful pike tuck Yamawaki sequence into a beautiful back uprise straddle planche. That's a decently hard sequence to do, and like I said, a lot of all-arounders can really attack that. It's usually how you can tell how talented a guy is. And just look at how nice Garrett's.
Double layout.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, like we said, man, Air Force coming with the difficulty.
Yeah, they're definitely going for that difficulty. Currently, it isn't playing out in their favor right now.
But
they are going for it.
You know, to kind of point something out too, I think that's actually the hardest dismount in the NCAA right now. No one does that. There's a lot of tuck doubles. That's kind of become the standard for all-arounders. Ring specialists, I'd say, are still either on 1.5s and laid out half and half outs. But I think Garrett's the only guy in the NCAA right now that's doing laid out double, which is an F value skill. So shout out to Garrett, man. That's pretty solid.
Especially at the end of the routine that had some good strength in there.
Right, that kip into a straight planche. He had really good yawn work in there too. So definitely taxing. Did you do what were your strength sequences, Sean?
I think the rules were a little bit different back then, but I did a kip Maltese press planche. Then I also did lower press pants, lower Maltese bounce cross or Nakayama cross, and a back uprise cross pull the L sit. And I just did a couple of just a giant and full half and half out tucked.
I mean, that's a really good routine. But I want to ask you, what is the hardest thing about gymnastics that didn't really translate into your Ninja Warrior journey?
That didn't translate. I think the team dynamic, but I've been actually working on that with my gym. I've been bringing people together and having more of a team workout. It really helps with the focus, and it really helps with getting the energy you need to grind through some of those workouts that you need in order to excel. I'm really liking this routine, though.
Yeah,
Really good so far.
Yeah, this is Yu-Chen Lee, so the superstar of Cal.
And there's that 1.5 from Yu-Chen.
I'm sure you guys like that back lever.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing we were talking about earlier. You're gonna see, we saw that a lot from Cal this year. It was a really simple B to B sequence for them, and they don't get deducted on it, right? Because either they do a back uprise cross and get the C, or they go into a support and lower into the cross get the B. But if you go from a cross into a back lever, it is a B. Normally, a back lever by itself is an A. So they keep it really clean, and they just, like I said, man, Cal really sticks to their mantra on that, and so far it's paid off for them. They haven't had any misses, and they've kept everything very, very, very clean. And they're leading Air Force currently by about 5 points. So their strategy seems to be working today. But all it takes is one meltdown from Cal, and Air Force is right back in there. And two, I think Air Force can gap Cal on high bar. But here we go, Frankie Valentin, the senior beast mode man. We saw him on horse a minute ago, but now we're gonna see Mr. Muscles put it up on the rings here.
Yeah, Frankie Valentin. It's a crucial part of Air Force success, along with Garrett Bronton and Ethan Echevel. And Frankie is now a senior there, so he's been doing it for 4 years, really just putting up good gymnastics. So he knows exactly what he needs to do to go out and hit this routine. Nice kip to straight planche.
Yeah, that was really clean.
Nice back uprise to another straight planche.
Looks like this guy can just do some really nice planches. You don't see a lot of guys do straight planches like that. There's that whip it to cross that we saw Garrett do as well. Looks like they're all coming in a little bit high. That is a D value skill, and it's pretty difficult. Nice tuck and pike out Milwaukee there, man. Air Force has some really nice yams.
He did not hold that straddle level.
No, he did
He's
not.
going to get 3/10 off for that.
Well, it's 3/10 for not holding. Wow.
Yeah. That's something.
It's harsh.
That's something that we could talk about in a moment, because they did really change that rule and make it very, very, very tough. So there's that double. Whoa.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's a big kick out.
Really, really late twist, but effective and done beautifully. But something that has kind of changed in the ring world is they really, really, really harp on holds now. So if you're not, is it snowing in their arena?
Chalk flying.
But something that they really harp on now is holds. So if you're not hitting your holds appropriately, you get demolished. So it's kind of allowed for a lot of guys to kind of stray away from like bigger strength skills. Like you hardly see any guys do straight planches anymore. You don't see a lot of Azarian work as much anymore, because if you don't hold it, you not only don't get value for the skill, but I believe you lose like 3/10. I mean, if the judge is being rude about it, they won't even give you the credit for the skill. So it can be pretty heavy.
That is the way that we were training at Penn State. If Tony didn't give you credit, if he didn't give you a hold, there was no credit plus the hold. All right, but here we're going to be looking at our final guy, which is going to be Noah Neufeld. So here comes the freshman sensation back again. Extremely consistent gymnast along with Miles Lee.
All right, there's that beautiful back of price straddle planche, keeping it very clean, very simple as well. See if he does that cross back lever sequence. I've noticed not a lot of guys have done it today. It looks like he took my recommendation. He's doing that routine I told him to do.
The plans.
Yeah.
This is the best routine.
This is
Our repeat viewers, Isaac mentioned that this is the best routine structure for guys that are a little bit weaker and can really only do a planche.
Yeah, this is the best routine construction for guys that can do planches. If you can't do a cross and you have a good handstand work, nothing beats this routine construction. Like, literally nothing. It allows for the smallest amount of deduction, the smallest amount of swing pickup, and the most energy throughout the routine. And there's that double layout. Yeah.
Nice duck landing. There goes
Beautiful routine.
3 out of
That's
5.
a Cal signature routine right there.
Yeah, that's a nice routine. A couple of weeks ago, we had kind of mentioned it because every year or every 4 years when they change the code, there's kind of like there is an optimal routine, right? And it just takes some time to find that. And it seems like they found it. The way that I see it is you get both of your strengths out in the beginning. You do both of your planches. Really easy. You do that back upright straddle planche, come back in for the straddle L, do another straddle planche, and then you do your yams, you do your press, and then you do your giants, and then you do your dismount. In that exact order. And it looks so good every time. Like, and it allows you to score some really, really, really good stuff. Like, we're going to see. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Noah took the event. But here we go with Alan Shadan for Air Force. He's going to be the last guy up. And looks like our straw poll is predicting that... Oh. Hold on, let me pull this up.
I'm going to go vote for Alan right now, actually. I think Alan got it. He's the anchor. So he should be looking to beat out the top score for Air Force, which is currently a 12.85 from Frankie Valentin. And I, in all honesty, I'd say I've never watched his routine, but I just have a lot of faith in him right now. A ton.
Yeah, I feel like Alan can put it down.
Here he goes.
See what he's got here. Nice backup rise Maltese to start. Came in a little bit high. Probably going to take 1 on that, but regardless, really good position, good hold. See what else he's got. Backup rise straight planche. They really favor those straight planches over at Air Force, and they're doing them really nice. That's the same sequence we saw earlier, that backup rise straight planche and then separating the legs. Good hold on that. So that was a D to a B. And then does that back giant there. That's a C. Nice front giant there. Gets his other C. A little bit of bent arms on the giant work, but nice tuck and pike,
nice
Yamawaki. Yeah. Back upright straddle L gets the B, and then we're probably going to see a press into dismount. So depending on whether or not he puts this dismount down, that's going to be a determining factor in whether or not he's able to kind of take that title here today.
Where's our votes for Allen here?
Man. So not exactly sure what they're going to give for that dismount.
Like double A full out.
Yeah. Looking like me out there.
See, Isaac.
Yeah, so...
Oh, they're going to give him layout.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope. They're definitely going to take a pike down deduction, though. Yeah. Yeah. But looks like we're done with the rotation. We're just waiting for the scores for these last 2 guys to come in. Looks like we're still on Noah's routine. Not sure why the scores haven't come through for Cal yet. Hopefully we're not having a Cal Wi-Fi issue like we've had in the past. Gannon would know.
Yeah, Ethernet.
Yeah.
Don't have it over there.
But, I guess we'll just kind of throw it to our guests. Sean, what do you think so far of the meet? What do you think of kind of the state of gymnastics?
I'm liking where it's going. Like we were talking about earlier, the routines are looking pretty clean. That's always been my preference. That's actually what attracted me to Cal to begin with is how they, even from their early like 97, 98 championship years, they're focusing simply on cleanliness. Then from there, you have the basics to do the bigger moves, and it'll look more and more impressive as you do more. So I'm liking what I see with that, with respect to that.
Yeah, and we have definitely seen Cal come out very conservative on the first couple meets because we do a lot of Cal meets, and now they're starting to add in more of that difficulty, taking out some of those back levers, and it's been really nice to see. It's been a very pleasant treat. And Chris, what is something that you are enjoying about watching Air Force right now? What are
I love the difficulty. Like I've been saying, this is something that Josh, their head coach, brought with him when he started the head coaching job 2 years ago now, and you can just really tell how much he's changed the culture. from when he started. So it's nice to see that change in pace. Because, I mean, it'll pay off. Ring scores were looking a little low, for everyone. But you see, like, Air Force was able to edge out Cal. They're probably just on difficulty alone. It seemed like, again, Cal hit the better execution, but Air Force, I think, got him on difficulty for rings at least. And I think that's one event where pushing difficulty is better, just because, like, apart from, holds and, I guess, position of your strength elements, it's harder to find deductions on rings, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like you got handstands, which are always should be solid at this point in someone's gymnastics career. So I think pushing difficulty on rings is important, especially if you got the strong guys to do it.
Especially on rings, it's important. But
yeah,
it looks like the Vertius stream didn't update, and we had to have an extra guy on ring, which is now going to be Ron Israel. Here, shout out Ron, big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Nice backup prize straddle planche.
This routine will not count towards the team score. This is a fifth routine, so Ron is just doing an exhibition today. But there's that cross into back lever like we've been talking about. Ron is an international student. Really, really great story from him. Moved all the way out here from
Israel.
From Israel, yeah. And now he's competing for Cal, doing some awesome gymnastics, as you can see. And it's been really cool to get to know Ron, actually. We've had a couple of conversations with him across the board, so shout out to Ron. If you watch this back, man, we love your support, and it's been awesome watching you. This routine's from Ron so far is really, really, really nice. See that?
Bent arm press handstand.
Yeah.
No deduction.
None. There's that tucked half in, half out. Doesn't quite get the stick, but regardless, really good stuff from Ron Israel. So I guess now we're going to throw it over to our event overview. Scores won't change because, like we said, Ron's score won't count. But you can see Cal here put up a 62.3 on rings, and Air Force put up... and Air Force scored a 63.7. Yeah. Kenan,
was
why
the
don't
straw
you
poll right with Garrett being the...
Take a moment.
Oh, no. Alan won, I guess, rings. I don't know if Alan had any votes on the straw poll.
I actually voted for Alan in the straw poll. I just want to say. So everyone out here disrespecting my vote. 9 votes for Garrett, 3 votes for Noah. I went with Alan, and it was correct. So we're gonna try to get that straw poll in the description soon enough. But we do remind you that there is a donation link down below. If you guys are repeat viewers of the stream, you could see where the money is going to. It is being spent in the correct ways. We just got a camera. We have a bunch of other things that we are now trying to get it set up. But we are going to need funding from the community to be able to do that. So Venmo code was on screen and will go on screen between every event. But we also have links in bios, and we will read out every single donation from that point on.
Yeah, we actually got one donation already today from Assad Juma. He said, love what y'all do. $5 from him, so appreciate that. That was on the Venmo, if you don't know. We have that up on our page as well. And really easy to donate to that. We tried to bring it 21st century on it. People weren't just constantly going into the description and not having to miss out on parts of the meat. But looks like we're going to kick it over into vault as we're getting that last part of the straw poll up. I believe the first guy up for Cal on the vault is going to be David Rochberger.
Looks like he's going to be raising his hands to go here any second now. Received David on a couple other vault lineups over this past couple weeks, and he's been doing a phenomenal job putting his vault to his feet every single time. So hopefully he can keep the train going and start Cal off right with a nice clean hit set.
So it looks like we got another donation coming in from Mystery Man Sean. Wonder who that is, for $100. Thank you. Oh, I just read the message on that. Sean said to keep that anonymous, but I read that, unfortunately. Sorry about that, Sean. Take that back. We didn't mean that, but yeah, I dropped the ball on that.
There is David Rochberger. Really good stuff there. Nice double full that he's putting to his feet, so it looks like Cal's going to be competing all double fulls on the day. So
I wonder where the 2.5 went. He was competing that for a bit, maybe last year or something. Guess he's going for more consistency.
Well, we're going to see some 2.5s later. We're going to see some 2.5s from Caleb Rickard and even a double front from Kyle Abe. So we'll definitely get to watch some of that, the bigger vault action later. Right now, we have Colin Hickey from Air Force.
Man, I'm not over myself. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, Colin Hickey, man. Let's see if we got him in kind of our lineup chart for last week. Yeah, he does he starts at a 14.8, so he's going to be doing a double full. And
downgrade a little bit
Yeah, a
to
little bit.
a 1.5.
And a pretty large hop on that as well. But did stay inside the line, so we won't see any neutral deductions. But yeah, I wonder why it looked like he had enough power to do a double full.
Sometimes it's the right decision. I would know. I made the wrong
Do you have to submit your vault before you go? Or?
No.
Okay.
So I know, at least over at Penn State, if you tell them, the coach will usually tell you what vault to do, and they can't really ever fault you for doing a vault that's lower than what you do, as long as you're not going out and chucking a double full when you're supposed to be doing a like 1.5 or something. You know, that's the only time I've ever seen a coach like get upset about it. But yeah, I know in terms of like judging, if you don't do the vault that they said you're supposed to do, then you end up in a position where they're just gonna judge you. You know, there's really nothing they can do about it.
There's no penalty.
No, there's no penalty.
You just do. The judge only judges what they have in front of them.
There's gonna be a penalty from your coach, but that's about it.
There goes Jelani Sweet, a sophomore from my gym, with a really nice souk double twist. He actually doesn't do the Kaz entry. You can see the slight difference in the way that he came off the table, but really nice double full there. Especially knowing that he actually had some struggles landing that vault. I remember he did one double full where he flew back and one double full where I think he put his hands down. So really nice to see him put his vault to his feet as we're going to head into the latter half of the season, and especially championship rounds.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is it looks like Air Force has kind of been clawing their way back a little bit from the deficit from Pommel Horse and Floor. And I feel like they need to make sure that they're doing double fulls here. Because if not, they're gonna get gapped out by Cal on this event, because there are some really big vaults later down the lineup, especially with Caleb Rickard. He can do that 2.5, and we've seen him stick it probably 4 or 5 times now, you know. So they need to make sure that they're on there. But this is Brian Washak, excuse me, for Air Force. This is our first time casting Air Force, so we do apologize for some of the mispronunciations.
Yeah, it's nice to see him on vault. He never competed vault while I was there, so, and he's kind of injury prone, so it's good to see him, you know, staying healthy, staying in the lineup.
That's what you want to see from your teammates, right? You want to see them succeed.
Exactly. Yeah, you can see his elbows all taped up because he dislocated it. I don't know what year. Last year, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had like a bad finger fracture at one of our meets my senior year, and he's just always hurt. It seems like so. Good to see you out there, Brian.
Yeah, it looks like Brian competed week 5 as well. Scored a 12.75 at the last showing, so I think that's going to score a little bit higher than a 12.75. I don't think he's going to score that low. I think he fell at that meet. But like I said, we're going to need Air Force to step up on the vault here. Like I said, there's a little bit of separation now between these teams. It looks like they're already trailing by about a point on vault, so let's see if they can kind of keep that momentum up.
I think we're really going to start seeing the gap close on P bars and high bar, just because of Cal's low start values and those being low scoring events in general.
Ooh, nice double full. Coming out from Aiden Lee, man, the myth, the legend. Keeping it real, keeping it locked, keeping it rolling.
Nice vault, Miles.
Yeah. A little bit more laid back stream today. Gotta say, you know, the vibes are kind of like I'm just watching some good gymnastics. You know, normally when we have these, we're jumping off the walls, but I gotta say, I'm kind of enjoying the chill vibe today. It's kind of nice.
I have now officially put in my vote for Caleb Rickard for the Vault Crown. You guys can see that straw poll update. So, guys in the chat, go and vote for the straw poll now, as we are getting into our final half of our rotation, and let's see who we're gonna be voting for the Vault Crown. Like, you know, I have Caleb Rickard of Cal, known for sticking his 2.5 very, very frequently. And yeah, so make sure we're getting some engagement in the chat with the straw poll, as it helps us out a lot. Here we're going to be looking at Garrett Bronton doing the Yurchenko style vault entry. Nice double full, really clean with a small hop backwards. And I think that might actually be able to take the highest vault of the day currently. Beat out Aiden Lee's 14.1.
Yeah, we see those guys that do Yurchenko vaults. They usually tend to score a little bit higher. New follower coming in. Thanks for the follow. Oh, Jake Bonet. Shout out Jake, man. Also, we got a $50 donation. We appreciate that donation. That allows us to continue doing this, as well as growing our community and making gymnastics a better place. So thank you for that. Also, next up, Kyle Abe. Beast mode, man. Let's see what he's doing today. Might be doing double front. Might be doing just a cause full. We're going to see. Here's that double front.
Oh, and he's going to land it, too.
Yeah, it's about time. We've seen him miss that vault a couple of weeks. So shout out to Kyle, man. It's about time he put that down. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Oh, man. That's actually really cool. We've seen Kyle, like, that was kind of like where our term for butt bounce got started. I think it, right? With Kyle. In like one of the first meets we ever got to cast, we watched them compete, Cal compete in their home, they're like workout gym. And they were kind of competing on top of like a kind of a pit with a mat in it. And we saw Kyle like just try the first double full front for the beginning of the season. And he pretty much under rotated it and just completely like butt bounced off, and then springboarded himself off the mat, flew like 20 feet forward.
Yeah, Kyle, he went, he over-rotated a vault, he under-rotated a vault, and now it's really nice to see him putting that vault to his feet, as we've all seen his struggle, and it's really nice to see when a gymnast is able to come back and continuously go after routine and finally end up going out there and hitting it. So, really good stuff from him.
There's another double front. And
that's the butt bounce, right?
Butt bounce, yeah. I knew it was going to come out eventually. But yeah, that's pretty cool that, you know, we could talk about it and then see it.
I'm actually going to give that vault a land. I think that's it.
Oh, no, he got the landing. His feet hit first. And if you don't know anything about vault, you have to hit your feet before you hit your butt. If your butt hits first, you actually don't really get credit for the vault. It's considered a fall.
Yeah. He's definitely going to be looking for his teammates to try to go out there and hype up that vault as if he landed it and as if it was the perfect vault.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of what you need on those front vaults. So Sean, what vault did you compete while you were on team?
I did a cause half, so that's equivalent to Suk 1.5.
It's a nice and basic 1.5. So what was it like training vault at Cal?
Cal is a little awkward training vault because, like you mentioned earlier, there's a pit with a mat in it. So it's great to learn, but then when you really want to land on a hard surface, you got to wait till you're actually competing. Really nice vault up there.
That is my vault champion right there.
Yeah, that's Caleb Rickard, man. Beast. He's actually the team captain. He's a junior. Remember, Cal's a little bit of a younger team. But really good stuff from him. We've seen him stick that vault like 100 times now.
I got this next Air Force guy as my champ because I saw him post yesterday on his Instagram a nice 2.5 stick which is really surprising to see from him because he's torn up both. I don't know if it was both ankles or the same ankle twice. He's had major surgeries twice on his ankles. So the fact that he even does vault is like mind blowing to me. I saw him. I'm not going to, we won't say anything about him, but let's hope for a nice vault here. See if he can repeat what he did yesterday on Instagram.
I mean, just talking about the mental aspect, I had a knee injury. The mental aspect of coming back to vault to run full speed at this stationary object is absolutely ridiculous. I never even touched the vault again.
Oh my gosh. Ow.
It looked like his ankles actually just gave out on him.
Oh.
Actually, it looked like his ankles were the problem.
Ooh.
Sadly.
That scared me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. When you started talking about knee problems and I saw him twisting in the ground like that, that's a red flag. That actually freaked me out.
Yes, sad. He sadly fell off on his 2.5, and our vault champion for the day is going to be Caleb Rickard. So I'm 2 for 2.
Hey, I voted for Caleb too, man.
Out loud predictions.
Yeah,
2.
Caleb's so talented at vault, and he's so consistent as well. And so it's really no surprise to see him win. And then right behind him, we see David. So yeah, I think the last guy up, Brandon for Air Force, could have given Kyle or Caleb a run for his money, but you can't. He did kind of fall. So
going it to the event overview.
Waiting on the event overview.
Waiting on the event overview just to update. We are looking at about a 6-point deficit for the Falcons right now, and like I said before, this is where I feel that Air Force has their best chance to overtake Cal, because Cal typically does some pretty easy routines, and P-bars and high bar are some lower scoring events. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Air Force can go 10 for 10 on these next routines, or even 9 for 10, 8 for 10 on these next routines, to see what they really can do, to see if they could weather the storm and come back these 6 points.
Sean, what do you predict?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm a little disappointed to hear that Cal's start values on parallel bars is pretty low, because when I was there, that was our bread and butter. Really high start values and really clean parallel bars. So it'll be interesting to see what they're packing now.
Yeah, I believe from what we have from last week, we have a 14-0 start, a 14-1 start, a 14-3, a 14-7, and a 14-9. Whereas on the Air Force side, we have a 15-0, 15-0, 14-8, 15-3, a 14-9, and a 15-5. So
wow.
Almost like a point difference on every routine in terms of start value. So this could really be where Air Force switches it around and gets back in the league here.
You got to look at the scores as well. The scores are significantly lower on the Air Force side.
That's true.
So Air Force clearly has a start on them, but it's whether they're going to be able to execute. And that is going to be the testament of time for the rest of the routine, and it's going to be a really big and really fun, exciting matchup for these two teams. This is now Aiden Gusty, first guy up for Cal. Looks like he's going to be going for his front dismount. Double front half out.
Ooh.
Nice.
Looks like they are stepping up the difficulty a little bit today.
Yeah.
He did not do that last week, so.
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
So
that's a big dismount, right?
Yeah. It's an F value dismount, and what people don't really understand about the dismount, it's not hard to do the dismount. It's hard to finish that dismount.
Yeah.
That is why it's an F. It's not an F for doing it. And you see Aiden Gusty, he's just a pro, and he could finish his dismount with absolutely no problem, like a beast that he is.
Sean, what did you do for a dismount on P-bars?
Double pike.
Double pike, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to envision you doing a double pike like on Ninja Warrior.
You want to see me do a double pike and fall?
No. I'm thinking about you. I'm trying to envision, like, every time you tell me about some gymnastics thing that you're doing, I think about you doing Ninja Warrior, and I'm trying to envision you doing gymnastic stuff like on the Ninja Warrior stuff.
The next break, I could screen share a routine or two if you want.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually. Actually, we might be able to do that. Yeah, we might be able to.
I have it set up on my end. It'll be pretty easy to do that.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be tight.
I like this. All right, but first guy up, this is Frankie Valentin. He started with a Tapelt to handstand. Nice Diam there. Really big Healy. Just a little bit of strength to get into that handstand. Nice Stutz. Close enough to a front of prize that I don't think that the judges are going to actually take anything off for that. But they might. Nice piece of support. L press handstand. And it looks like he's going to be going for his dismount right here. So here goes first guy up. Crucial to their success.
Ooh,
Double
that's a
pike.
big
And he stays on his feet.
He does stay on his feet, but we need those stuck landings. We need the green flags up. I'm getting a little nervous, Kenan.
Oh, not at all. Not at all, Air Force fans. Do not be worried, because the next guys coming up are going to be smashing it out the park, making this a really close meet.
You know, something we mention a lot of the times is when it gets down to parallel bars, when it gets down to high bar, these are such confident-based skills. These are such confident-based events. And then on top of that, you have to hit these routines. Otherwise, you're going to score dumpster scores, right? So I really, really, really hope the Air Force can put it down here. And because there's nothing more exciting than a close high bar rotation.
Yeah. Chris, I'm sure you know all about those close high bar rotations.
Yeah, and I was usually the one that would fall and, ruin it for the team. So, honestly, we didn't always find ourselves in a lot of those close ones, being who we are. But, going to, I think our best competitions were always like all academies. Those are always really close. And by far my favorite competition. We always got a lot of turnout. We'd always have some you get like Vietnam vets in there, a lot of old military dudes that you might not even know anything about gymnastics. They're just there to see some young future officers or whatever. So those are always fun meets to go to and always close ones.
Yeah, we were really bummed we didn't get to commentate
especially
the tri-meet this year.
Especially since
Yeah,
all
that was a
Army
good
did
move
was
too.
release a Facebook feed that was on 144p quality.
Yeah,
That was absolutely terrible.
we were super disappointed about that. But nice routine from Noah Neufeld, man. Noah is on
that's
fire
great.
today.
This is what he does. This is what Noah does. Noah goes out there and he hits sets like it's his job.
For real, though.
Which it is his job. But, he goes out there and hits more sets than everybody else. No falls ever.
I know.
And I'm
He-
really jinxing it on high bar, but
I know, but I've seen him stick, every single high bar dismount that he's done for the last, 6 months.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what the Cal lineup does.
I know. They just put it down. But here we go. Zach Pone.
This should be a pretty big set from Zach here. He's really good on P-bars. He's got the big skills. Just like you've been saying.
Zach,
As long as these guys stay on, they can score high.
yeah, so Zach did not compete at their last meet. So this is going to be our first time getting to watch Zach on P-bars in a long time, actually.
Yeah. And again, they're missing Ethan on P-bars as well. Another one of his really good events. He's super clean and he's got probably one of the best lines. Oh,
Yeah, that's
But he's got really nice lines. It's always fun to watch Ethan.
Oh
do
my
that.
gosh, I didn't think he was gonna make it on the bar.
Shout
Whoa.
out Eric Lung. I don't know if he remembers doing that at Inner Squad that one year.
Yeah, we've seen people literally fly off of the bar on that skill, miss their upper arm.
So his dismount is going to be coming on the uprights of the bars where there's absolutely no swing. So he's going to do
oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
that. Is it's pretty common.
Saw that
to
one
see
coming.
that. Yeah.
that's hard.
What would you guys do right there? Would you improvise and go to the end, or do a reverse pirouette, or is that too risky?
You know, if it's me, what I'm doing a triple back off the bar. I'm just swinging underneath, letting that baby ride half in, half
Don't
out.
ask,
Double,
don't ask
double.
Isaac. He never did P-bars. So
What are you talking about? I used to do Roethlisberger, baby.
Yes.
yeah, would you ever compete it?
Yes,
No.
I did. Nationals
competed in
2016.
the
You guys
pit.
can go and watch it.
Honestly,
Oh,
it depends.
okay.
If
I'll
I'm
go watch it.
directly above the upright, I'll probably do a Moyen.
You think so?
If I'm directly above it, yeah.
Hmm.
But if I'm any type of, I have all my fingers around the bar, or even at least 3 fingers on the bar, I'm just gonna swing the dismount same way that he did.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how good, how much faith you have in your P-bar dismount. Me personally, I had unlimited confidence in that skill, so I'll go for it on the end of the bars. But
Honestly, if
know.
it was me, I probably would have really just done a double back.
yeah,
You know.
I mean, it all depends on the gymnast. If he's used to doing it there, then it doesn't really change anything.
Well, that's maybe something he can address in practice. But here we go. Next routine for Cal is going to be Caleb Rickard.
I love that start with a peak.
I do too. There's another really big travel there. Apparently, that is by design. We had learned that from another commentator for Cal. I believe on last Saturday, we had Cal.
Surprisingly, it's actually not a deduction to slide on the P-bar.
Yeah, I thought it was too, but it doesn't. You can't move your hands, but you can move your whole body. Nice little peach there, and we're going to see that nice L hold. Presses right up into a handstand. And Caleb's on fire today. But can he get this dismount?
There it comes.
Double back with the stick.
Sick though, all right.
Yeah. He probably got some really good Instagram photos now.
Yeah, I know, for real.
I mean,
What are the dismount rules nowadays in terms of requirements?
So the way the dismount works is you have to do a D dismount, otherwise you don't get credit for category. So you lose 2/10. So every time you do a double back or a C dismount in general, you don't get those 2 extra tenths. So in reality, right, you do a D dismount compared to a C, you do a D, you actually end up getting 3 more tenths because you get the category and the extra tenth for difficulty. As to where when you just do a double back, you just get the C credit with no extra 2 tenths for the category.
All right, good to know that.
science.
Similar to back in my day, but not quite.
How did
We
it
had
work
to do
then?
D dismounts.
How did it work
We had
then?
to do D dismounts, but I think it was only like a 10th off for a C and 2 tenths off for a B or something like that.
I think it should actually be that way, if you want my honest opinion, because it kind of alienates some guys from doing events. Whereas, like, if you just did a C, you'd see a lot more C dismounts, and I feel like consistency across the board would be a lot bigger. I have teammates that didn't get to compete because they didn't have a D dismount. Because it was just that it was really just that big of a swing. But here we go. Next guy up. This is Alan for Air Force.
I actually just put my vote in for Alan right now. Alan has my P-Bar's vote. He has a 15.5 start value on the event. Last week he put up a 10.0, so he actually lost 5 points on it.
Yeah, look how easy he made that giant look. And wow, that is a beautiful Moy. Made that look so clean. LDL, I love his handstand work. Looks straight as a board. Dabell here gets it right up. Great work. Looking like somebody from Stanford on that Dabell right there. Double pike. Can he get it around with the stuffed dismount? Get the flags up, baby. Get the flags up.
Where is it? Yeah. Yeah, that was mean. That was
clean. Damn. Looks like Air Force might be bringing it back here. Remember, they did have that one fall from Zach Poland. So, man, Caleb Rickard scored a 12.15. I didn't expect that. I expected him to score. Yeah, stuck dismount too.
I mean,
I think some of these scores reflect, though, the virtual nature of this meet, especially on events like P-Bars, where a lot of it, I feel like, not a lot, but sometimes it can be, audio. You hear someone smash their feet on the mat, which I guess would help them out in this instance. But I think with the judges not being right there, you kind of, I don't know, maybe they feel like they're missing stuff and they're hitting harder, They're like, oh, I got to make up for stuff I might be missing here and there. So I definitely feel like the virtual stuff is cool, especially with the circumstances we're in as a nation now. But
yeah,
I think it has its pitfalls too.
The reason that the judging is actually like that isn't because they can't hear it, because I thought that too for a while. But the judges actually can hear it, and the viewers can as well. We just can't.
I just can't. No,
you
never
just
mind.
can't. Yeah. And then there's the beautiful double pike from Kyle Abe, Jr. putting it down, doing a really good job. But also too, you got to remember the judges that they have on Vertius are pretty well established judges. A lot of these people judge internationally as well, so you're getting a little bit of a harder judging across the board than you would maybe at like a home meet, if that makes sense.
do you know if the coaches are allowed to hire their own judges?
No. Vertius, as far as my understanding goes, Vertius handles all of that.
So no more cheating at home meets.
No.
I know a lot of teams. Yeah, no shade to no shade to the Big Ten.
I'm not gonna show any
I don't
Big
know.
Ten meets out, but I could name a couple that I've been at,
I can name every single Big Ten school
including my own.
that does the hire their own judges thing.
Let me think about this. We got that Penn State meet that I was at home, and then we had the Nebraska meet.
Yeah, so Sean or Chris,
We had the Illinois meet.
Have you seen
the Michigan
that happen,
meet.
In the past where your coach
I've heard conspiracy theories, and I just looking at some of the results from teams like when I was there, like Oklahoma having huge home scores, and then when they're away, they're going down a significant amount.
I'm
it's
happy to know that is a constant.
at least
it's questionable, but it all equals out once you get to the big meets, right where it counts.
Yeah, it's consistency across the board. Like I don't mind if it's gassed at that meet, but it needs to be consistent for both teams, right?
And that's the reason why we don't count our regular season average towards NCAA. So
yeah,
as long as if you make NCAAs, you're meant to be there, and then from there everyone's pretty fairly judged, I would say.
Yeah, I would do.
On the big stage,
in the end.
there might be some bias here and there, but that's typical in a sport that's judged by people. So
that's also on like a person-to-person basis usually, rather than a team basis.
you get the big gymnasts, big names like Ewell and whatnot, and judges expect to see big sets, and when they do, they're going to reward those guys. So
yeah, they usually do.
Yeah, it seems like a platform like this is better for ranking as well, since the judging's a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something that, as we move forward and we develop more and more opportunities for these guys to compete, we're currently working on a league to get some of the national team member guys, a little bit more airtime so that they can go out and compete. And we've just seen like that level of consistency is really big, right? Because it's not really fair, these national team member guys that get to compete twice a year, and then you're supposed to make a whole decision on who's supposed to be the best guys to go out when you have literally 2 meets to work off of, right? So but I would like to be able to come in and change that, and that's something that we're working on, and that's all community support. So let's go Yu-Chen Lee, man. Beast mode, starting out with that beautiful peach to handstand and a nice giant right into a moin to the middle, keeping it really clean. Oh my gosh, that was actually textbook.
Yeah, really nice Suarez. Nice Healy there.
Oh, making it look easy. Healy into upper arm right into the straddle cut. Nice up into a handstand. Really clean from Yu-Chen Lee so far. Double pike, can he stick it? No, he can't, but he takes a small hop, but that's the only deduction.
Not giving nothing.
That's the only deduction on the whole routine. Was that
I think that Peach he's gonna get hit on that one. Unless it was not really a peach to handstand. I don't know what they're going to give him credit for. But besides that, it was really lovely routine to watch.
I've seen the judges be pretty lenient on those peach hands.
Yeah.
Especially on the handstand angle.
Yeah.
And I think because he did a back giant out of it, I don't think he has to get directly to a handstand. Same as if you did a stutz directly into a back giant as well, or a diam. Where you have the same cheat that you do out of a front of prize as well. But overall,
you guys got to invest in some instant replays and slow-mo.
Yeah, we're working on that actually. Yes. But the problem with that is, honestly, if you really want the thing, is we just need more equipment. That's what it comes down to.
You guys like,
and another person dedicated to that would be probably necessary too, since the pace of this is going so much faster than an ordinary meet.
Yeah, we have people here on site helping us run the stream now too, but we'd probably need a whole nother person to do slow-mo as well. So
nice Makoots.
Yeah, beautiful start there. This routine is massive from Garrett. Garrett actually has my vote for taking the event here.
Really?
If he can just keep his legs together, he can win the event. Ooh, there's a giant though. Maybe I'm wrong. You gotta keep your arm straight on a giant there.
Really nice kung fu flip, I like to call it sometimes.
Kung fu flip, keeping it simple for the fans. Nice to pelt. Really nice press up out of that to pelt too. Doesn't look like he's taxed at all.
Stutz to handstand, really nice.
Double pike. Ooh, doesn't get the stick, but still, really good set from Garrett. He's got a big start.
Mr. Bronten. And, I don't know if he's going to be able to take the P-Burst title from Allen, who I did vote for, by the way. Now 3 for 4 on my rankings.
Something else to point out too. I don't think has Cal missed a routine yet.
Yeah, they had that one fall on P-bars.
Yeah.
On the belt. He sat.
Yeah, that's a felt.
Kyle
Yeah, he sat down.
Abe sat down his.
So we've had one fall from Cal today. That's pretty good. That's usually where you want to be at going into high bar, right? One fall. That's not bad at all.
So like I said Air Force is gonna need to go out there and they're gonna need to go and do 9 out of 10 routines or 8 out of 10. And right now they are at 4 for 5 with 5 routines upcoming. So they're gonna need to go 5 for 5 on this next rotation if they want to give themselves a really good chance to win this meet.
But it looks like we got a lot of votes for Garrett, and then right behind that was Yu-Chen Lee, and it looks like the score for Garrett comes in at a 12.1, a little bit lower than I was expecting. So it looks like Yu-Chen Lee will be our. No, I'm wrong. Alan Shadan is actually our Air Force Air Labar's champion. Sleeper pick, bro. Sleeper pick. Looks like only 3 votes came out for Alan, so shout out to him. He starts at a 15.3, scored a 13.5, which is a pretty good score.
Chris, did you vote for Alan this time?
I think I did.
All right, so
I remember.
So out of the 2 votes, they're right here. Letting you know that me and Chris have some superior gymnastics predictions here.
Honestly,
I should pull out a crystal ball.
You two are actually probably some of the most gymnastics knowledgeable people I've ever met.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, yeah, I get the same vibe from both of you. You know, I've known you both a long time, and I'd say you guys always seem to have a second sense for that stuff.
You gotta be on the show. Let us know if you guys want to see current NCAA gymnasts, because my friend Michael Moran has the best gymnastics knowledge I've ever met. If you ever have the opportunity to talk to Michael Moran about gymnastics, some of the technicalities, even an individual skill as simple as a kip, Michael will find a way to make it complicated.
Oh, also during this break, Sean, do you have that video prepped of
Sure. Yeah.
Throw that up.
You want to see P-bars or rings?
Whatever one you want to show.
All right. Take a spotlight my screen then. There you go.
If we can get this to. Hold on, I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it.
Oh,
there
sorry.
it is. There it is. There it is. Hold on one second.
I didn't catch that there. All right. Got to switch it. There we go.
Let me see if I can get this to work really quick. Oh no.
Uh-oh, what happened there?
Oh, we're sharing your screen. Looks like we're getting our screen. There we go. So this is kind of the. Oh, my bad.
So this is a
Oh my gosh.
old video of Sean Bryan.
Man, that's a really good routine. Did you do a... I love the swiftness of it all, too. It really connects very, very, very quickly. Oh, don't
watch the dismount. Don't watch the dismount.
Don't watch the dismount. Still really good stuff, though. I enjoyed that.
Really nice routine from Sean, actually.
Yeah, that was cool, man. Did you do a bell?
No, it was Mursui.
Oh, okay. So from sport.
Yeah.
That's tight. Yeah, you don't really see that skill anymore. I think honestly the last time I saw any double flipping in the NCAA was probably when I was a freshman back in 2016, like 2015 era. Nowadays you just don't.
I thought I saw one this year.
You probably have. I'm just saying in general. Like you see them here and there, but they're definitely not as common as they used to be. Like I think the seniors from my year when I was a freshman did like I want to say like I think we had like 3 of them.
Bells, all those front upper arm skills.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with it is that when I was a junior in high school, so what is that, 4 years ago, they banned JOs from doing rollout skills. And actually 5 years ago is when I was a sophomore. Mike was a junior. They banned the rollout skills and they also banned upper arm skills. So a lot of JOs, like myself, I worked those skills when I had the chance, and there wasn't really many other chances coming up. So a lot of guys kind of transitioned away from those and went to the easier ones, such as that's a really far to gotcha. Such as like the kung fu flips or the shadow fronts, or even the Suarez's are relatively easy for guys that have pretty nice swinging elements. But here we go. We're looking at our first guy up for Air Force, which is going to be Alex Schechtman.
Yeah, Sheckman. We call him Sheck West. Yeah.
Sheck West, I love that. Laid out half in, half out. Doesn't quite get the landing,
So,
but decent routine from Mr. Sheck West.
yeah, just it looked like he had a little bit too much torque, a little too much power in that dismount, and
Yeah, he
Just-
cranked that joint.
this came out.
Yeah, if he opened it up a little bit, he probably would have been able to stick it because there's no point of hollowing it out like that.
Yeah, so we actually missed our first routine from Cal. That was Colin Cunane. He put up a 12.9, and we normally talk about it, but Colin Cunane, he went out there and got a stick again. So Colin has, once again, never missed a high bar landing.
I think we've
in
done
his collegiate
5 Cal meets. We've done 5. This is our 5th, and he stuck every single time.
Yeah, it is the only event that we see Colin doing, and I know he trains other events. He is from
Yeah.
Region 7, but as for right now, he is 100% in his college career on hit routines and on dismounts.
Hey, we got a Ash Busky with the sub. Appreciate that.
It goes going for Jamawaki. Right there. This is freshman Noah Neufeld. So Noah's been having an absolutely electric day. We're going to see if he can finish it off with a really nice stick. A hit routine. There goes his endo work. Endo to full spin. There goes one more endo. Nice half turn. Could be looking at some basic in-bar work like that stalder there. And he's going to be grinding up for his dismount. Nice half and half out laid. And
Nice.
actually a hop. Surprising, knowing the frequency of cows sticking on high bar.
Yeah.
But really clean routine from Noah and a really good day for him.
Yeah. Props out to Noah. So it looks like we got a comment here on the YouTube. It says, it's tough. They were devalued, and the judges want horizontal catch. And the bigger one, I think, is the hands needing to be around the bars when you catch instead of grasping as you swing through the bottom. And he's kind of referring to the double flipping skills on parallel bars, as we were talking about earlier. So it's from Tanner Dowell.
That, I mean,
That's one of my old teammates as well.
we could really get into it, but what the judges did was right.
The Cal guy too.
Yeah, he knows. I feel like he knows everybody here.
You guys kind of look the same too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do look like Tanner, actually, Sean.
I think the FIG got that change right, devaluing those skills. They started getting too dangerous and not grabbing the bars or hitting it, just reckless gymnastics. It's not artistic at that point.
But here we go. Sam Metzler for Air Force on the high bar. Can Air Force bring it back here on the high bar? They got to hit all of these routines. Nice Tkachev half. Man, we are getting a lot of votes for Garrett Bronton here in the Stropple. Nice jam coming out. And understandable. Garrett is an absolute beast when it comes on that high bar, like I said earlier today. Really nice indoor work there. Putting it up. Nice little pirouette.
Hard not to vote for the guy that does the casino.
Yeah, really though, right? But you're gonna be surprised by some of the stuff you see from Cal on high bar today. Laid out half and half out, gets the stick. What a flag's that? Yeesh.
He stuck it cold too.
Nice little flag work. But next up, Chen Lee, man, myth, legend, the guy that can do the most on every event, as well as high bar. And then after him, we'll see Kyle Abe and Caleb Rickard. But let's see what Chen's got in store for us today. Is it going to be a stick? Is it going to be an amazing routine? Probably going to be both. John, what do you think?
I'm just excited to see this because he's been so consistent everywhere else, and everywhere else been doing some big stuff. So high expectations for this.
Right? He's a beast.
And knock on wood right now, but he is not going to let you down. Let me knock on wood too, because everyone says I have cancer screws.
Is he going to jump up himself too? That's pretty baller.
Yeah, right? Look at that. You know, I actually can't jump up and grab the high bar.
Oh, it's pretty sad.
Actually, Christian, I think Christians used to make fun of me for that when I was a kid.
I think you could catch a Tkachev.
Do I think I could catch a Tkachev? No, I could never do it. There's that flying giant from Chen Lee. Not a lot of amplitude on that. We usually see a little bit more. But as you can see from his handstand work, all of these skills he's doing the handstand, he's not really getting deducted on anything except that last pirouette that he did there was a little bit late. And he's cranking it up for a big dismount here. Laid out half in, half out. No stick, but still really good routine from Chen.
Very big tap there from Yuchen. But really good gymnastics there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, Isaac, for how many shows you've done, have you given like a bio of yourself? Do people know that you are only good at rings?
Why you gotta come in into my show and make me and diss me like that?
I'm
But
just kidding.
yes, for those fans that don't know, I was absolutely garbage on like every routine or every event that I did besides rings. I was all right. I was all right.
Shout out to Ron though for making you a beast on rings.
Yeah, shout out to Ron Howard. Ron Howard, Elevate Gymnastics. That guy can coach. I was not a very talented guy, and I came to the game really late. And I had some really great teammates that did help me along the way. Like Brandon Nye, I had Christian Kaluskin, Garrett Cope, Sterling, even Josh. All of these guys from my JO experience. They really pushed me to be a better person. Yeah, Josh.
Insane?
No, Josh Newbold.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Christian's laughing, but growing up, it was I was really late to the gymnastics game, and I had a lot of really great guys around me that allowed for me to make it into a college and do gymnastics. So I'm always extremely grateful for that with my coach and my teammates.
They've had some really big Tkachevs over at Air Force. The first two were a little bit far for my liking, and Oliver Zavell just put it perfectly on the bar, exactly the way that I would want to catch a Tkachev.
Yeah, hopefully Air Force knows how to fly.
Yeah, they do. Nice jam.
I like that.
Really nice endo to handstand right there. One of Oliver's best thing is that he's extremely clean. And you can see that in this routine. He's probably going to score pretty high. Assume a good dismount. And yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's money shot right there. It looks like Christian Kaluskin on his high bar routine.
Let me go put in my vote for.
For those that don't know, since we're talking about each other, Christian was a beast on high bar. He was always one of my favorite guys to watch. And I remember every time I would be at a competition with him, I'd be like, Christian, what's up, man? He'd be like, oh, I'm doing high bar today. And I'd be like, all right, tight, man, tight. I'm excited to see it. And he'd be like, I'm probably ain't going to make it, though. Like, bro, come on. You didn't even give yourself a shot yet.
Was I wrong, though?
Most of the time, yeah.
Half the time, maybe.
Most of the time, you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't do floor vault anymore, so there's no reason for you guys to go look at those floor vault videos and look at my hurdle. I know it was high and weird. I wasn't good at that. I wasn't recruited to do those events either. So like, please don't come
chat
at
is
the floor
putting
vault.
Garrett on blast. Oh man, I love that. But here we go, Kyle Abe for Cal. Kyle's put it down today, man. You saw him on just about everything. Like I said, these all-arounders, they do everything for Cal. And then they usually put up a couple of event specialists. But so far, really clean set. You see a lot of good in-bar work from Cal. Nice little jam there, coming over the top. Hops his hands back around, probably going to see another endo. Yep, there's that endo. Right up into a beautiful handstand. Nice work from Kyle. And then going to crank it around for a nice little dismount here. Probably going to be a half it. No, triple back. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, boom. Doesn't quite get the stick, but it's better than last week for sure. For sure. So shout out to Kyle. It's always fun to watch that triple back. It's a banger.
Yeah.
Now what triggered you to remember it was a triple? Was it the tap, or did you just remember in general?
It's his name.
Okay.
In my mind, triple is associated with Kyle, and the reason is in JO, he actually used to do a triple back on floor. So we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago, and Kenan was like, "Are we gonna see the triple? Are we gonna see the triple?" And I was like, "What? He does a triple back on floor?" But we haven't seen it yet. But I think we're gonna see it in the future. So whenever I see Abe, I'm always like triple back, triple back, triple back.
And I think Alan, when I was there, he was working triple for his dismount, so we might see that from him too here.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
As long as he's feeling energetic at the end of this set, he should probably. I think he goes. I don't know if he does tuck double double or triple, so we'll see.
I mean, tuck double double's a D, correct?
Yeah.
Triple back's what?
G.
G.
Oh, actually, no, it is an F.
No, it is an F. It's a G on rings. It's okay. But let's get cracking here. We got Alan for Air Force. Air Force needs to, they still have an opportunity to come out and win this meet, but
Nice heck tap endo to full spin.
they got to keep it clean. Ooh, nice Ullman. Keeping it real clean. Nice handstand work from Allen. Gonna see a jam here. Nice little talk half. Good work.
Maybe I should have voted for him.
Well, he's been really clean so far. Nice little quass there as well. So far, really good difficulty, but also keeping it pretty clean.
Handstand tap.
Oh,
Yeah, nice. Gotta love the handstand tap. It's extremely clean. The
Ooh.
tapping motion. Not
Another
super
Tkachev
consistent.
Tkachev and Tkachev half. I'm surprised he's not doing all these release moves first. You don't usually.
Yeah, it's hard to do release moves at the end of a set like this.
Yeah. Maybe he can get that.
Especially with all that one bar work like the Zuli min.
Yeah, right. It's a lot of muscle.
Your grip's kind of nasty. Only I guess double A full out, but
Well,
yeah, your grips kind of get loose, and you always like doing your release moves with a nice tight grip.
Yeah.
well, let me
That's
say,
end of the set loose grip
he did a
stuff.
routine very similar to me, and it's very difficult to put a talk late in routine, especially when you're not super good at it. And it's also very difficult to put a Zuliman late in the routine when you might slip off. So the releases, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You kind of put your releases
Yeah, that's
fifth and
true.
sixth skill, but
Yeah.
you don't want to. It's just kind of where they have to go.
I guess.
High bar's weird if you're not super talented and can do all your skills with absolutely no effort.
Yeah.
As soon as you have to do one jam with effort, you reorganize routine around that one skill.
All right, here we go. Last guy for Cal, Caleb Rickard. He does need to hit, because if Caleb has a complete meltdown here, Air Force actually can win. So I don't see that happening. This is team captain, and Caleb's a rock. He really is. Shout out to the Rickard family in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Love the support. So let's jump into Caleb's routine here. Let's see if he can put it down for us today. I believe he missed his laid out Tkachev last week, so I'm sure he went back in the gym and really worked on that. There's that laid out Tkachev I was talking about.
That was
Beautiful.
nice.
Yeah, literally
That
textbook.
was clean.
Looks like he almost changed his tap up a little bit this week, as you can see, kind of leaning up into those.
Doesn't look so wonky today. Now it looks like it has all the correct parts.
And it looks very clean, right? And good position over the bar. Good handstand work as well. Nice little stalder there. Flying giant. We need more amplitude on those flying giants. But
That's what the judges say. Ooh, stuck
Ooh.
dismount.
let's go, Caleb. Let's go.
That is now our final routine for Cal, and they're gonna walk away with the
Yeah, they're taking the
victory today.
number one victory royale.
But I want to say,
Yeah, gymnastics. We get down.
I want to say before the stream ends, thank you guys to the viewers for coming out and watching the stream. We still have our the man, the myth, the legend, Garrett Bronton, which is definitely the routine that you're gonna want to watch.
Yeah, this routine's massive.
But I want to say thank you guys for coming out here and showing your support. This way, we do remind you guys before you leave that we do have that donation stuff in the bio. We have the Venmo, the name, and we will be throwing up the event overview that has a QR code. And we also have the link in bio.
Also, too, after the stream, we're going to stick around with our guests and chat it up a little bit. So, if you want to get to know the guests a little bit more, I know we had that small interview in the beginning, but unfortunately, we didn't get to cover on too much just because of some technical stuff. But we're going to just kind of stay after, if our guests don't mind, and just have some quick banter, talk about the meet and some other stuff. But let's jump into the last routine from Air Force. It's going to be Garrett Bronten. This routine's really, really, really big, but it's a high risk, high reward routine. So let's see if he can get it done today.
I do not have him as a winning high bar. I think he's gonna fall.
Well, I think he's going to hit. You can see the team's going wild,
So
and
we're
you're going
gonna
to see
have
why.
to
Watch
see.
this skill. Oh my gosh, puts it on the bar.
nice casino.
Beautiful. I believe he does a Coleman right here. That's a tucked double flip with a full twist. So really big stuff. Laid out to Tkachev. Absolutely massive
Kinda
for
far.
Garrett. Oh my gosh,
Kinda
the fingertips
far.
on that
Perfect.
Tkachev, keeping it on the bar. Quas 1.5, really, really weird timing on that, but he got it around. Nice little pirouette there. Quas full.
Quas, and just let his hand slip.
And then can we see the dismount put down? It's a double laid out. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, just a little bit of with the form, but that was an absolutely ridiculous routine. Casina, Coleman, straight body, straddle half.
They're prioritizing start value over Air Force. That is a massive routine. I don't exactly know what that starts from, but when it comes up, I'll make sure to say it. But I hate to say it, but like
I think it's a 15.
15-7.
Yeah,
That's massive.
I can do it real quick.
The thing is, like, Cal won high bar, but we saw Air Force come out with so much more start. But it's just, with the current system of how all this works right now, it's definitely better to just do clean high bar than it is to do big high bar. Because we saw Allen, he scored an 11.65, but he starts at a 15.3. Whereas, like, you take Kyle starts at a 14.5, and he scored a 12.3. So, about 5 or 7 tenths higher, and this is what, 8 tenths below in start value.
Yeah, I have him at a 15.7.
Yeah, 15.7, 13.0 for Garrett, and that's a massive routine. And then to still get beat out by Caleb Rickard, who starts at a 14.4, it's like, at what it just makes high bar like such a battle of, like, I'd say mentality, right? Like, Cal, they're clean. They ended up winning high bar. Air Force, they did massive high bar, but they're still getting outscored by these guys that are really, really, really clean. So
I think, though, like how you're saying, like how Cal kind of blew us out with the low start, clean set is the reason why the U.S. is so bad when it comes to competing at the Olympics. Like,
yeah,
we're never gonna get up there if we keep pushing our college gymnasts who we want to be on our senior teams to do these like Mickey Mouse sets and have them. Wow, they got a 8.5 execution, but they started at 14.0. It's like you have these Russian and Chinese and Japanese gymnasts pushing the huge execution and executing at the same high levels as we do. We don't have a chance, in my opinion. So I think we get like at the collegiate level, they really got to start pushing difficulty. I think if we ever want to see ourselves rise back up to where we were, 10 years ago or so, when we had our guys team doing huge sets, like, Jake Dalton, Legendre, all those guys, they're doing massive starts. Yeah. And I know we still have really great gymnasts now, but I think you see some more reserve gymnasts where they're going for those, not easy sets, but compared to like, Dalaloyan and even like the Japanese guys, they just don't compare.
Well, now
it's tough to watch.
Now they have a little bit of time. We could get into it. The U.S. is doomed currently with just the current state, with the whole infrastructure. Just going to college isn't really setting you up for the Olympics the same way that they have in the international section. The FIG rule set in the U.S. isn't really setting them up for success internationally. And the AAI equipment is also not setting anybody up for success. So it's really hard for me to like be a US fan and be like, yeah, like, they're going to go to the Olympics and try to go medal when nobody there even stands a chance. They have 18-year-olds, 19-year-old guys that can beat everybody. And the only one in the US that's really good, is Asher Hong.
Yeah.
Yule is okay. Internationally, he's okay. Sam Akulek isn't going to hit his routines. Clip me on it. You know what I mean? I'm in the DMs all day to argue. The only person that's really out there putting it on for the U.S. is Asher. And
how old is he? Like 15 or 16?
He's 17 now.
17.
Yeah.
17, but by the time by championships, he's going to have Sam Akulek's number.
You think so, by U.S. championships?
Yeah.
What's going on with McCulloch? I haven't been keeping up. Is he just getting old, or is it just outdating the code or something like that?
No, Ken is making it sound worse than it is. Sam is an absolute beast. Like, Sam is really.
He used to be like super consistent too. So I don't know. Has that changed?
Well, he's had a little bit of trouble internationally.
There is a ton of YouTube videos of Sam Akulek just falling. There's like a 5-minute montage of him just falling in international competitions. So we already know that we cannot depend on Sam for the Olympics.
I mean, they're still going to send him.
Sadly.
Yeah, he'll still do good. I mean, he can medal on any event. He does.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But
Maybe not
in
Paul,
terms of
but
in terms of
due
team,
to it-
the big thing that I feel like the problem is we have no team experience as a team here, right? Like you go and look at every other team that's a national team, like let's take Russia, let's take China, let's take Japan. These guys are the same guys that are competing together for like 5 to 6 years at a time.
Yeah, they've grown up competing against each other for not even like 10 years, probably 15.
Yeah, exactly.
And that keeps the competition high. They always train together. They know each other's tendencies, whatever.
Yeah, so
Get the same exact coaching. You're not getting coached by 10 different people. And
that's a
then you
big
have to
point too.
Get everyone together and have one coach try and tell them what they want to see, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why like the last really great U.S. gymnast we had was Danelle Leyva. Like this guy,
was good.
he didn't go to college. He did his own thing, and it worked out for him. He won what, 4 medals?
Yeah.
And he crushed it in Ninja Warrior too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
exactly.
too, yeah.
He did.
The dude, he kind of shows how, and I'm not knocking, college gymnastics is great too. It's awesome. But I think if we want to be competitive again in like the international arena, we really got to start pushing guys to, come and train at the OTC for 5+ years. Whoever's like recruiting our teams, who sees the talent, they're like, I need this guy to come and work out at the OTC for the next 6 years. He has to push off college
So
if he really wants to make an Olympic team
do
and,
you
make
believe
a
in the
splash.
OTC?
there.
You believe in what the OTC does?
To a degree. I mean, like I said, if they can get the group of guys together and have them consistently working out as a team for more than, an Olympic run, 4 years or whatever, I think it'll pay off. But you got to get the guys young. You see these, like you were saying, Japanese, Chinese, and Russians. They got like these 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds outperforming a lot of our college guys, like or difficulty-wise,
Definitely.
So
I have a hard time just believing in the OTC. Just seeing what Oklahoma was able to do with their national team over the past 5 years, the OU became the new OTC for me just because, and just personal stuff that I just know from behind the scene that none of the guys at the OTC are really working. DM me if you guys want to argue about it too. But none of the guys at the OTC are really doing any gymnastics there. From my understanding, they spend 5 hours in the gym and maybe take 7 turns. And the Japanese guys, and they're going out there and get it. So if you're a prospective JL looking to go international, hit up Tom Meadows and try to go to Cyprus.
Yeah, for real.
Or go to Oklahoma.
Go to Oklahoma or go to Stanford.
Stanford as well. I would stay away from the OTC unless you're personally motivated and are willing to work around a bunch of people that they might care.
So I think another thing to touch on too about this whole thing is why guys go to college and they don't just stay home and do gymnastics, right? Because there's
on a career after gymnastics.
Well, yeah, there's no future currently in gymnastics, right? It's not like you're going to go and be a professional gymnast. You're going to be an Olympian. You're not going to be a professional gymnast, right? So there's really no avenues for these guys to support themselves besides the national team, which, isn't going to pay you enough money to live a life that you can really have, right?
Do you think that
unless you turn out to be as good as Simone,
Yeah, unless you're Simone Biles, right? Who's on every commercial.
Win, I'm sure Paul Hom made a nice living off of winning Olympics.
But that's the thing. That's like what, 2 people in the last 30 years?
It definitely plays a factor in the motivation. I think internationally, because there is a future and a career in gymnastics, they almost work a little bit harder knowing that they have there's no ceiling to what they can do social media wise and endorsement wise.
Well, it also allows for more talent to come in too, Like
Yeah.
why you at like 8th grade can see the whole path of gymnastics and go, yeah, I could maybe go to college for it and then I'm done. Whereas like you watch these guys that go into wrestling, they become, world champions in wrestling, or they even, go and do the NCAA, and then from there they can go into the UFC, right? They can transfer out into a million other things. Football.
And now they also have this Flow Wrestling Network where they have like bouts head to head against each other, and they can make a pretty good amount off that now too.
I saw that as well. Jordan Burroughs versus Dalen Taylor.
Super cool.
84 kilograms.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at it here is that something that we're working on is to make a league so that guys, like all these problems that we're talking about right now, would literally be fixed if we just had a centralized league for these guys to compete and make money, right? But the problem is gymnastics has been so bad about being proactive rather than being reactive. They have been reactive to everything. You see people raise $3 million to get on and save a program, like a college program. That's awesome. You can raise $3 million when you need it, but we can't raise $10,000 or
So go into it, Isaac.
There's nothing else there that exists to be proactive, right? So the Gymnastics Network, the goal is to be proactive about the future. So we're trying to create avenues now. Like, yeah, this show is one thing, right? But we're working on like 100 other things behind the scenes at this point, and it's to create something with Verdius, with this platform now that we have, that allows anybody and anywhere in the whole world to compete, to build something that can say like, hey, now look at what we've been able to do. We put together a league. We have guys that are making money competing. We have guys that are, maybe they're not on TV anymore, but the future isn't TV. The TV's gone. Like, you can get some money in TV, but if you're not an established like sport at this point, you're probably not going to get on TV anymore. And two, the future isn't TV. It's just not. Like, you've seen more and more people. I know more and more people my age, more and more people that are Christian's age, more and more people that are even Sean's age. We're all a little bit on the same spectrum. All under 30. And dude, I know people that don't even have a subscription to. They can't even watch gymnastics meets anymore because they don't have a cable subscription.
So what is gymnastics right now doing bad? Because I remember when we were on the phone maybe a week ago, you explained it to me the best, that donating to the schools is paying the bills. Donating to College Gym right now, which was what everybody thinks is the solution, which is money.
No, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Donating money to the schools allows for your program to be better at gymnastics. Okay? But let me explain something to you. That's not saving gymnastics by any means. That does nothing. I mean, it helps your team. Like, if you're an alumni and you're like, I got $100,000 to give away. Okay? You go to Stanford and you give Stanford $100,000. That makes Stanford a better team. They have more money to get people, better people on their team, and they have more money to buy equipment, and they have more money to plan things. Okay? That helps their team. But let's take Stanford for a perfect example. They won a national championship, and they're still on the block to be cut as a team. So did that money help? Was it proactive? Did it really do anything? No, it didn't.
It was reactive.
No, it was reactive because they said, oh, we need more money. Take Cal, for example. A couple years ago, we had, Sandy Barber, who was the athletic director at Cal. She was gonna cut men's gymnastics. So they did a huge fundraiser, raised a ton of money, and said, we hit your goal, Sandy, $3 million. You're not going to cut us anymore. Okay? Sandy didn't cut them, right? Sandy's only there for 4 years, guys. She's gone after 4 years. ADs don't stay around. They leave. She's now at Penn State. She's at Penn State now. She's not a Cal anymore. So now they have a new AD. New AD comes in. Well, who's to say that AD is not going to put you on the chopping block and be like, well, we don't really need you guys. You don't make any money. You don't help us.
Look, donating to the schools and doing right now what has seemed to be like the focal point for the media, which is be like donate money, raise money for men's gymnastics.
It's all reactive.
Isn't a long-term solution just because it's not creating a sustainable future for gymnastics. What Mike Burns proposed to the Board of Regents for Minnesota was a sustainable future for gymnastics, one that was self-funding. That's a good idea. At that point, yeah, it makes sense to donate to the team because now they are self-sustaining. There is no reason to cut them. But for, most of these schools, the future of the sport isn't going to change. It's still going to go down. What really needs is we need avenues like the Gymnastics Network, like Brandon Nye, like other people that are out there streaming these meets, to try to give gymnastics a future, to try to create avenues for younger gymnasts to make money, to earn sponsorships, so that they have something to train for internationally, and the U.S. gets back to the top, and also so that gymnastics as a sport has a future. Because right now it's just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, and all of that is really made possible by what we're using now, which is Vertius. But that's kind of my rant. We are working on things to be proactive. We really are, and that's going to start with a league for these guys to be able to make money, support themselves, and push gymnastics in kind of like into another level, and then also to work with the youth, right? Getting more of our youth involved, especially at a competition level, would be really, really, really cool. Because the youth deserve just as much attention, and they are the future, right? So that's something that Sean and I had talked about before as well. They saw that same thing kind of in the Ninja Warrior scene, right? And, reaching out to the youth and having them get involved, that's something that we really want to do. And like Sean told me before, it's something that the Ninja Warrior has done really well. You want to touch on that?
A lot of ninja gyms wouldn't make it right now if they didn't focus most of their energy and even their equipment on youth development, the rec leagues and the competitive teams.
And we've seen that in gymnastics as well, right? And it's great that we've had more and more gyms open up, but those are like self-sustaining revenue streams, right? I think for me, it's like creating the next level to that. It's there's 10,000 boxing gyms in the whole United States, and that's great. Like, boxing makes money, but if there was no world championship, there was no big fight for the big belt, would boxing really be that popular? And we got to wait 4 years to see gymnastics do that? No, not anymore. That's gonna change. But anyway, I'm done ranting. Christian Kalusian, my old teammate, my good friend, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me on. It's fun to get out there and commentate for a meet.
Yeah, it was super nice to have you, and I miss you, and I hope the wife is doing good, and I hope you're having a really good time out there. Well, I don't want to say where you live, but
Why you don't want people to feel bad for me?
No, but I really do appreciate you coming on here, Christian, and I hope to see you soon, bud.
Yep, thanks for having me, man. Hopefully your dream turns into a reality, because I know it'd help a lot of people out. Maybe not me, because I got a real job now, but
I want to
someone younger. Maybe you can help out, Preston Nye.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be a rocket scientist. So.
Probably both.
Yeah. I want to say really quick before everyone leaves, we are looking for a sponsor for the stream. So if you do have a small business out there and would like some shout outs done, DM the Instagram page. Just wanted to say that real quick. But Sean, you have anything you want to say?
No, this is fun. Thank you for having me on. I've been meaning to come on for a while now, but I have a pretty crazy schedule with all I'm doing. So I'm glad I finally found the opportunity to do it. I'm sorry about the glitches earlier.
It's okay.
I don't know what was going on. I stream quite regularly, and this is the first time I've ever had that major of a malfunction before.
Hey, man, that's just how it goes. Well, looks like Christian needs to sign off, so we'll see you later, Christian. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thanks again.
Yeah, anytime. But Sean, if you don't mind staying for just a couple of minutes, I did want to kind of let the fans know about just kind of if you have the time, just kind of your process that you went into going into Ninja Warrior, like that transition from gymnastics kind of into that Ninja Warrior world, and to let the people kind of be aware and kind of understand, like, maybe they do have another avenue outside of gymnastics. We're trying to fix that, but at the same time too, we have people like you that have made that successful transition. So
the gymnastics beautifully dovetails right into ninja. Kind of unfortunately, I didn't get started into ninja until 7.5 years after I graduated from Cal, and all that in between time was a little bit of like soccer and basketball and volleyball, playing with the kids because I was doing some youth ministry, but no real gymnastics. My friend had a gymnastics gym I went to like once a month just to play at. But besides that, took a little bit of a break. But gymnastics is trains your muscles and your skills in a way that is just like ingrained in your brain, and your brain tells your muscles how to do it. So it's really great for training. And I came back to it pretty fast. So I think in 2015 in August, I started to play around in a ninja gym. And then by March, I had my first appearance on TV, and did pretty well my first year. And the second year was my breakout year, I guess you could say. I got tied for second that year. And then my third year, I ended up falling in the same exact place as the person who won it, but he got there a little bit faster than me. So I'm still going for that $1 million prize this year. Maybe 2 more weeks, 2.5 more weeks until I leave for filming this season in Tacoma.
Well, definitely want to say good luck with that. That's gonna be exciting. We're definitely gonna be cheering you on from the sidelines. So where can we find that information? Where can we look for that?
If you follow Ninja Warrior on Instagram or any of the social media, you'll be able to see all the announcements. There's ANW Nation, ANW American Ninja Warrior Nation is the official blog, and they usually come out with information way sooner than the official information channels. So ANW Nation, and if you follow me on social media, you'll get some updates as well. I think they're starting to broadcast this season in May, the beginning of May, but they're filming in about 3 weeks. So if you reach out, I can't talk to you about how I did or how anyone else did, but that's what's happening.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We really enjoyed it. Love the commentary. Love the conversation as well. So anything you want to say? I'm done, Isaac.
I don't know. I've ranted so much today, if I'm being honest, but Sean, it was really cool to have you. I felt like it was a Nickelodeon crossover episode today, and it really was an experience. So we appreciate you being here, and I'd love to do some follow up once some of that Ninja Warrior stuff does kind of hit the public eye.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool because I feel like there's a lot of gymnasts that are interested in that, but
I'm interested.
Huh?
I'm interested.
I'm interested as well. So
Ninja gyms are popping up all over the place. So search it on Google, Ninja Warrior gym or training facility, and you'll probably find one near you. If you're in the California area or the San Francisco area, I have a gym called Traverse Fitness in Richmond. So come out and play there. We, as of Tuesday, we're officially allowed to reopen at partial capacity. So we've been chomping at the bit to reopen, and it's finally happening. So come out and play.
Yep. So shout out Traverse Gym or Traverse Fitness Parkour.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Man, I wish I had a private jet. I'd just fly out there. I want to go play on some ninja stuff. It'd be fun.
Where are you located again? You're in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we're all the way in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that area, but there's a couple in New Jersey that are pretty good. Not too far from you guys, probably like 3 hours away.
Have you ever heard of U.S. Gymnastics?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gym that I came from, and I came from the location in Leonia that went to the one. Then I went to the location in Mahwah, just for personal reasons, and then they have a rec gym, a competition gym, and then a cheerleading gym that they opened, and then they opened up a ninja gym all within the same facility, just a couple doors down. It's like
it's pretty common. A lot of gymnastics gyms are opening up little ninja rigs to attract more people, and it's good crossover.
Damn.
Yeah. Which was the U.S. gym you first went to?
I went to Leonia at first, but the one that I go to now, or went to now, was Mahwah, New Jersey. I'm from Teaneck.
You're from where?
Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck, okay. Yeah, I went to Surgeons Elite my junior year.
Really, with Rich?
Yeah. Rich was my coach for 1 year. It was Matt and Tim and Rich, and there was a lot of guys going through at that time. Stan.
Yeah, I'm a big New Jersey head, so I know. I know those guys.
Yeah, I was there when. Do you know David Durante?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, so David Durante was there when I was there.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That was a good guy.
Yeah, big in CrossFit now.
Well, I think we're gonna put up the event overview, and I guess just
Wait, I got one more thing. Sorry. For the people that don't know, I know we don't have a ton of viewers right now, but we have enough. And something I wanted to mention on was something that I was working on before I started building the gymnastics network was a fantasy gymnastics league. I actually learned how to code apps, and I was writing up an app for it. But I kind of gave it up to do this. And now there is a company that has just come out in the last 2 weeks called My Fantasy Gymnastics. And they did exactly what I wanted to do. You can actually go and play fantasy gymnastics now. So find them on Instagram at My Fantasy Gymnastics. They are really, really, really cool. And they're sharing our mission about being proactive rather than reactive. And I could see us doing a lot of really cool stuff with them down the line. So really go check them out. They got started a little bit late in the season, but it would still be really cool to kind of have our community partake in the fantasy world, right? All the other sports have fantasies, why don't we, right? And we don't because, well, now we do, but we didn't for a long time because I'm not gonna do the whole rant again, but you know why. So, yeah, we're really excited for it. And thank you, Sean, for being here today. Thank you, Cannon. Thank you, Jules, for helping me out in the studio today.
Of course.
And I think we're just going to put the event overview up, let some music rock, and we'll talk to you guys in the future. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it is sad to watch this sport shrink in the United States. And there's not enough post-high school opportunities. There's just not, because nothing exists. Nothing exists to make any money, and then if you do have the opportunity to make any money, then you just can't go to the NCAA anymore. But they're actually going to change that rule. And then Christian Marsh, yeah, that's the William & Mary guys. They made that site up so that we could play. It has existed in the women's world for fantasy for a while, but now we're switching it over into men, which is what it should be. But yeah, thanks for being here today, guys, and thank you, Sean. We're gonna kick it now into our event overview, and let it rock. And let me end this. Make sure we don't have... Oh, I didn't mean to hang up.
in chains. All this time with you, I took the pain. Knew that it was wrong to stay. So I told myself I'd walk away.